Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Texas, and that's right. Your ears and eyes do not deceive you. I'm back for today and for tonight. I am your host, Edward Sanchez, followed by my lovely guest, Cade Corbine. Welcome, and thank you so much for having me here once again. But as I said, welcome to Texas, where everything is bigger. Tonight, we will be competing in the Eagles Nest 150 at Texas, presented by TMUT Esports. This is the third of 5 races that TMUT will be partnering up with us for the season in the Formula College World Championship. And so, just a quick word from their esports director, Rick Allen, that they're proud to announce that they are the official sponsor of tonight's race for the Collegiate iRacing League. They are not just building a competitive esports program, they're creating real opportunities for student athletes. Though university athletics, all TMUT esports athletes receive an in-state tuition, whether they're from out of state or even international. Plus, all transfer students who meet the eligibility requirements, including a minimum 3.5 GPA, can qualify for our $6,000 transfer presidential scholarship, making higher education more affordable when competing at the highest levels. And I just got paid big time for saying that, Cade. I am excited as ever tonight. We are racing in the high banks of Texas. I mean, how does it feel? And tell me, are you excited for tonight?
I am excited. I think it's going to be a really good one. Even though this is the third oval that we've gone to this season, it's the first one that looks anything like this. New Hampshire and Indianapolis were both pretty flat, but like you said, Texas has high banks. It's considered a super speedway by IndyCar standards, which means speeds in excess of 210 miles an hour, drafting all the way around. It's going to be fantastic.
And super speedway is a little bit up my alley, so I gotta say I have actually went and test drive this week to really learn about this track and a little bit of practice, and absolutely I blundered it. I mean, turns 1 and 2, you cannot go full out, you cannot go flat out, especially on cold tires. It's so difficult. Turns 3 and 4 a little bit easier, so I think calamity always in turn 1, calamity corner is going to be there. But apart from that, I mean, I'm excited. I got my popcorn, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys have it there as well at home, something nice and fun to eat. And speaking of the audience, folks, if you look down there at the subscriber count, we are 594 subscribers, I believe, from the last count that I've had. We are 6 subscribers away from hitting 600 subscribers. We had an in-house joke that if we hit 600, I will be taking off my shirt. Don't be worried, that will not happen. That's only going to be at the 1,000 subscribers. Anyways, folks, so 600 subscribers, please grab your brothers, your sister, your cousins, your nephew, your niece, your grandpa, your grandma, your aunt, your uncle, your godfather, your god sister, your god brother, your sister-in-law, your brother-in-law, your father-in-law, your mother-in-law, your aunt-in-law. You get the gist. Get their phone, go to Collegiate iRacing League on YouTube and hit that subscribe button because it's another milestone. Cade, last semester at this racetrack, we hit 500 subscribers, so it is going to be interesting. Anyways,
I think the moral of the story is we just gotta run Texas more often, and each time we do it, we'll hit 100 subscribers, and we'll get 100 more and 100 more. But yeah, it's a huge testament to you guys. So thank you guys for tuning in and watching. So let's take a look at the track that we will be covering tonight. It is a 1.5 mile oval, considered a cookie cutter by NASCAR standards, but anything but for the IndyCar, even though it's got those 4 turns, really only 2 ends on this track. Initially opened in 1996, but I believe that it was repaved in 2018. And we raced here last year in an event that was won by Cale Davidson with Ryan Whitlock, Ben Fiore, Dylan Beatty, and Cohen Evans, the rest of the top 5 in that event. So those could be some guys to look out for, guys who know their way around this track.
And speaking of guys knowing a way around this track, I would call it my pick for tonight is going to be Wyatt Burton. All right, Mrs. Burton, I know you're watching right now, and your son was phenomenal last year. Kate, I got to give a little bit of a context here. He was up and front running in the last 20 laps to this race last semester. However, unfortunate incident struck with him in the lead in the turn 1 with 13 laps to go, causing him to get wrecked out of the race. So I feel like if he avoids the big one and if he gets up front as with the clean air and dominates as he did last year, I think we can look at a 2-time CIL race winner moment for him. Apart from that, I mean, last year was just full of calamity, especially with the restarts at the start. So I do have to give a warning to everybody, Cade, that we are allowing drivers to have a backup car, if I'm not correct, due to the high speeds of a little bit of netcode, fancy word for internet connection here and there in the virtual space of Texas Motor Speedway. So if a car does get out in an accident, rest assured they have one more shot. They get back into their backup car and they will be in the end of the line on the restarts. And speaking of, qualifying has just started. Cade, talk to me through how difficult it is to really qualify on this track. I mean, it's not fully flat out, as I mentioned earlier, isn't it?
It's not exactly flat out, but the key is maintaining as much momentum as you can. And so you're going to get a lot of guys that are going to be on the edge of that throttle. They're going to be trying to use as much of that gas pedal as they can. And anybody who oversteps it or understeps it by just a little bit, that's where those valuable hundredths of a second are going to be lost. That's going to be the difference between pole and 10th position. And then farther back in the pack, depending on how many people we get, it may be the difference between making the field and not even getting to race. So you have to be perfect. You have to use the most throttle you can without going over that line. Because if you clip the wall, your lap is disallowed and you may not even be able to put up a time.
Well, speaking of time, let's go over on board here with our Muhammad Alif. A name I cannot forget and I'll always cherish here, as he's going to take the high side here out of 1 and 2 out of 3 and 4. He's going to go across the line. He's going to put up a lap time. Oh, second fastest. But remember, it's going to be 3 laps. They have 3 laps. So usually it's the second and third lap that's their fastest. The first lap to warm up their tires. So we're going to see as we go on board here with the Leaf. And Cade, I mean, all these buttons, all these fancy doohickeries. And I already know from the past, you know, you've got all these different engine maps, you've got the arms, you've got all the way, how do you shift the car left and right, especially through dirty air. And I mean, look, I'm not surprised, as our Muhammad Alif, his provisional pole with a 24.230. Wyatt Burton reaches to the second position. He's got a 24.247, only less than 100th of a second off from Alif. And so Alif is still trying to put in another lap, but I mean, I think he put it all there as his third lap. He's going to be coming around turn 4. He's going to go into pits. I think he's going to call it a day. I think he says this is enough. And I feel like that is the momentum for these drivers. Is I think the second lap is a sweet spot, as we're watching Wyatt Burton out of turn 2. He's also going to be crawling to a stop. He completed his third lap. But Cade, good news. We've got 32 drivers here tonight. And that means that as long as they meet the 105% rule, that is that they meet the minimum lap requirement and speed, they will be allowed to race, as Dylan Beatty comes to a screeching halt on the backstretch.
Yeah, now taking a look at Ben Fiore here, the 55 car for Mayor's College. He's another guy that I want to keep my eye on. You know, mentioned that he was top 5 last year. He's also having a fantastic season on the whole right now, top 5 in your Formula College World Championship point standings. So I've picked Fiore earlier in this season on a road course. Tonight might be a night to watch this guy on an oval. Really like what I saw there. This is his hot lap. I believe he's already done his warm-up lap. So right here, he's going to get right down to that white line. He's going to wrap it pretty much all the way through the corner, and when he's exit, he doesn't need to get all the way up to the wall, so he can cut off as much of the apron as he can. And it looks like that is going to slide Ben Fiore into the 9th starting spot. So little work to do, but Ben Fiore for the moment, should start this race inside the top 10 with a minute and a half left to qualify.
And Cade, you said it best from earlier. A hundredth of seconds makes a whole lot difference to a thousandth of a second. And as you see right there, Jay Cummings and Claire Halterman, they just split Wyatt Burton. So Wyatt Burton is currently P4. Jay Cummings and Clint are now in second and third respectively with a 2.40 and a 2.42 respectively. They are only less than a hundredth of a second in separation between second, third, and fourth. And our very own FC director, Ricky Paz, he just hit a 2.51. He is in fifth place. Tonight is gonna be amazing. I sure am excited because last year was a roller coaster, kid. I mean, you should have been there. It was all over the place. And honestly, the new rule that they put into place where they allow the backup car for these drivers, especially on these high speed tracks, I think is one of the best ideas they've had.
I agree. You know, iRacing's had a lot of issues, especially with these IR18 Indy cars, keeping them from hitting each other when the drivers don't think that they're making contact, but iRacing thinks that they do, and it's a really unfortunate way to end somebody's day. So you do have to go to the back. You will likely lose a lap or two in the process of taking that fast repair, but you do get out there. You do get the opportunity to go back, try to gain some positions. We saw that play a huge role in the Indianapolis 500. And so that is something that we'll be keeping an eye on today. You only get one chance. You only get one backup car. You don't get two. You don't get three. But if you do find yourself in a wreck, you have the opportunity to resume the race a couple laps down and try to claw a few spots back. And if this race is anything like last year's, and from what you're telling me, it could be a race of attrition.
And I'm going to say it right now because we got the grid rolling. So let's get through our top 10 and through the rest of the field as we're going to wait for it to pop up. All right, in first place, I mean, we already know. In provisional pole is our Muhammad Alif with a 24.230, but on there it says 231 for Boston University. On his side is Jay Cummings, Converse University, the number 95 with the nice 240, only 10th of a hundredth of a second off. In row number 2, it's going to be Clint Halterman of UNC Charlotte in P3, and on his outside, Tryon University's very own Wyatt Burton in P4. Now, the last time we were at an oval race, this man right there in P4, he won the Indy 500. Can he defend back-to-back on oval oval starts? We shall see here. And row number 3 is going to be Ricky Paz of East Carolina University in P5, followed by Drew Williams of Clemson University on his outside. Row number 4 is going to be Brandon Schulenberger. He is for Wingate University, starting P7. A great start for him on an oval. We'll see what he can capitalize here with Nick Henley of Boston University, P8. And in row number 5 is going to be Matthew Nordberg of North Carolina State University in P9, followed by Ryan Whitlock of the University of Alabama in Huntsville. And look at that, folks. 0.67. We're still less than a tenth of a difference. That's how close it is. Go ahead, take it away, Kate.
That's right. Just a thousandth of a second between the two drivers on row 6. That's Ben Fiore from Marist and Lucas Moody representing Ball State University. And just 7,000th behind Moody is the 76 of Jason Wallet from Drexel. He'll start alongside Adam Willoughby from Clemson University, making his first start of the season. Row number 8 has Joseph Grzalva of Purdue starting alongside St. Clair College's Keegan Kallick. And just behind them, it's Cale Davidson from Ball State University alongside Andrew Burrell from Clemson. Both these drivers are going to look to make up some ground early in this one. Rounding out your top 20, St. Clair College and Grant Schiller will roll off in the 19th spot with Andrew Voigt for Penn State starting 20th.
And outside of the top 20, P21 is going to be Aiken Lamar of Howard Community College, followed by Dylan Beatty of Ball State University in P22. After them is going to be Marlo Duncan of Milwaukee School of Engineering in P23, and Zohair Mirza for St. Clair College. I think this is his debut in the series, P24 for him. Jacob Dick of Ball State University, one of the Ball State rookies starting out in P25. He has a lot of work to go through the field with Esteban Munoz on his outside for Florida International University, P26. P27, Connor Bingle of University of Alabama Huntsville our very own, one of our stewards tonight, he is going to be a driver trying to survive with Joshua Staley outside of him, P28 for New England College. And rounding about our top 30, Adrian Tupakovic of St. Clair College, P29, with Alex Vernetti of UNC Charlotte in P30. And in dead and last, unfortunately, would be Nick Stockner of Clemson University. And I said dead last is because Caden Hughes, unfortunately, failed to meet the requirement to be able to race tonight, so he has been disqualified. So ignore him. But so unfortunately, Caden Hughes of Bruton Park College, if y'all are rooting for him, his day has not even started and it's over.
And do want to make a couple corrections there to that. Edward, you've been out of the loop with us. Zohir Mirza has been racing with us all season, putting up some pretty good results. And that is Riley Birkins driving for New England College in that 33 car, not Joshua Staley. So a couple updates there that we've picked up on this season. But what are you seeing from this starting grid? What do you think?
Well, first of all, I gotta apologize to Zohir. I gotta say he is a new name. So what I meant by debut, I meant debut season. So apologies to him.
Fair enough.
But I mean, what am I looking for? Or are you saying what am I excited for?
Really anything. We're about to see 150 laps of, wheel to wheel, inches apart action. Tell me anything. Strategy. What do you think?
Right now, it's been a while since I've been here, so as decided, I cooked myself some popcorn. I got myself some Coca-Cola vanilla. So, folks, if you haven't already, we are going to grid in less than a minute. So I highly recommend go get your snacks, go get your drinks, because we are going to have a classic, and I'm telling you, a fantastic CIL Formula College Championship race, round 7. And so if you're just tuning in, welcome to the great state of Texas here with Cade. And overall, I just cannot wait to see the top front runners battling out, because I think this is going to be a big fuel run, in which the idea is that these drivers, as we know, this is going to be 150 laps. And from our cheat sheet that we got by yours truly, by Cade, trying to look it up here, I believe it is going to be. It's going to be.
Should be somewhere between
40
60,
laps. 40
I'm
laps
thinking
for fuel
60
run?
to 70.
60
a little bit
to
closer
70.
to 60 to 70.
All right.
It'll depend on cautions, though, for sure.
That's true. That's true. And that's the thing I'm going to really focus on tonight, is going to be how do these drivers save under caution? How are they going to put into clutch and save? And now, looks like they are gridding up, as we see right there, folks. We are only moments away here in the virtual track of Texas Motor Speedway. Folks, if you're just tuning in, welcome once again. As tonight, we are be racing in the Eagles Nest 150 at Texas, presented by TAMUT Esports. And I'm a little nervous. I am a little nervous because my pick, I said it earlier, Cade, and we can say our picks now. My pick immediately is going to go out to that 26 of Wyatt Burton. He is currently been just showing such immense speed on these ovals, and honestly, this past semester, and especially after the win in the Indy 500, I feel like that took a lot of weight on his shoulder. He's not having to be pressured to really now get that win. It's like when a driver gets that first win, it just comes to them more easier now. They can now be able to be a lot more riskier in terms of trying to win. They've accomplished that goal. Now it's just, let's do it again.
Yeah, and I think that weight gets taken off his shoulders, but with it, he does get a little bit of added expectation, right? He's shown that he can do it. So now, everybody from, he's got added to Vortex, everybody at Trine University knows that he can win. He won on a huge stage in Indianapolis. So the pressure's certainly off, but the expectation is almost there a little bit, right? Now, if we see Burton fall outside of the top 5, we're going to start to think, hey, did something happen? What's going on? So it's definitely an up and a down, but for sure, it's got to be a huge relief to get that first win, prove the haters wrong. I don't think there were any haters really to begin with for Burton, but I'm excited to see what he's going to do tonight, rolling off outside of row number 2. He should be at the front all night long.
Well, folks, I have the honor to once again say this. Welcome, everybody, to the CIL Formula College Championship, round 7 here at Texas. And I'm going to do it for old time's sake. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing here at Texas as a Leaf takes the green flag, and away we go. And looks like we got a caution, folks. And it looks like they are celebrating on the driver's VC. Anyways, look at that move. I just gotta highlight quickly. Wyatt Burton, he's up into P3. Oh, and a massive wreck. Oof. All right. Well, Cade, let's break this down now.
I'm looking, and it looks like Jason Wallet maybe didn't quite go, and that's a huge stack up. I see Connor Bingle in the grass. I see a couple of other drivers, but that looks like Wallet on the inside there. Yep, doesn't quite get going. Gets contact from behind. Aiken Lamar gets on top of somebody else, and just a huge wreck. There's Wallet. If we could maybe ride along with Jason Wallet, see what he's looking at here. I don't know if this is wheel spin or just checkup, but he's got a pretty big gap up to Fiore.
Pay attention to his gear. He's in first gear. Let's see if he maybe misses the gear to upshift. Oh, it was a checkup. He was the first one to check up properly, but everybody else behind them was just so excited to get going. As we're gonna rewind here for a second here. The car in front, I'm trying to see if that was perhaps that's Ben Fiore. Yeah, so Ben Fiore had to check up, and unfortunately Jason Wallet, while he did get hit in the back, I wonder if maybe he doesn't have to use that fast repair. If he doesn't have to go into that backup car and maybe stay on this primary car, because you never know if you get in another incident, and you may as well save that backup car for a worse wreck. But speaking of worse wreck, I mean, I count 8 cars in that wreck that has to go to the backup car. So now they're gonna have to really step on their tippy toes and make sure that they avoid trouble here to the end of the race.
And what that seemed to me was just a classic case of the accordion effect. You know, I really think that started closer to the front, maybe row 3 or row 4, just the slightest bit of checkup, but each time it multiplies just a little bit like a ripple in a pond. It gets bigger and bigger, and by the time it got back to Wallet, just nowhere for the guys behind him to go, and when they made contact, collided, it just caused a wreck. So earlier, Edward, you said something about the big one. How about the big ones? Do you think that's the only one we're going to get tonight?
Ah, I see what you did. I see what you did right there. Ah, I know this series was in good hands. So the big one, especially on lap 1, I think that was not really the big one. While it took out a good 8 cars from what I'm seeing from the damage report, I think that the worst has yet to come, especially when we get to late race, like late laps, where people are more desperate, especially on restarts, and people are just going to gas it. They're not going to lift. They're going to gas it because they need as much position for this track as possible. So as it looks like we have some drivers who has received the black flag. Looks like Connor Bingle, Aiken Lamar. Yeah. And it looks like, so Grant Schiller, Jacob Dick, and Andrew Voigt, they received what we call in the iRacing sim world, the meatball flag. Cade, what does the meatball flag mean?
Well, unfortunately, it does not mean a pasta dinner. What it does mean is that your car has too much damage and you are required to come to pit road and get some of that damage fixed. Basically, it's iRacing's way of making sure that slow cars get off the track. If you have too much damage, they'll throw a flag with a little orange circle on it, looks like a meatball, and you have to come in and get that damage fixed. And so those drivers with meatballs just goes to show how big that crash was, how much damage they received, and those are the cars that likely will be using that fast repair to go to a backup car and continue this race with a fresh set of wheels, but they may cycle out a lap down. So we'll just have to see how that plays out here in the long run.
And hot off the press, Cade, looks like Cale Davidson, the number 2, was given an EOL penalty. End of the line. It looks like the stewards have noted that the car number 2 was deemed at fault for the start of that crash, so he will receive an EOL and a driver's strike.
And that is unfortunate for Davidson. Like we mentioned, he was the winner of this race last year, able to capitalize on what happened to Burton late. So there's Davidson. This is going to send him all the way back to last car on the lead lap, which not only means he's giving up a ton of track position, but it also means that he's going to be behind all of the calamity that we still have another 145 laps of. The pace truck has pulled in, and we are once again racing here at Texas.
And Alif has a sizable gap. I mean, he just gapped the field there into turn 1 as Cummings, Burton, Holtzman, Williams, all right behind them as they're going to try and get him. And it looks like Jake Cummings is going to have a really good draft down the backstretch, down into turn 3. He's going to look to his outside. He's going to try to make the move side by side through 3 and 4. But look who's behind them. My pick, my boy, Wyatt Burton is going to be trying to make a move there. Going to turn 1. Will he make it 3 wide? He's going to think better of it. He's going to slide right down to the inside, but Jake Cummings holding out to the outside. He's going to have another go here as he gets that better momentum off of turn 2. Down the back stretch. Looks like he does. He gets to the outside. He's going to try and cover him down into turn 3. No, as a Leaf does not give up. He's going to hold down to the inside, side by side, still down through the front straightaway. It's still side by side as it looks like Wyatt Burton, he's trying to get a nice slipstream. He's thinking if the opportunity is there, but he does not, as those two drivers up front, they are just killing it up there.
And because those two cars are side by side, it makes a huge hole in the air, an absolutely massive toe for Wyatt Burton. He should be able to just sit there, and now he's going to capitalize, looking to the inside of Jake Cummings. They're side by side, nearly contact in the quad oval, and that brings Ricky Paz into this. Paz on the outside, looking 3 wide top, but still it's a Leaf holding the lead with Jake Cummings still at his right rear.
Oh man, that's my FC director, Ricky Paz. He's gonna send it to the outside.
Paz to the outside.
Looking to the 4-3 wide. Oh, and it looks like we're gonna have to take a quick break, maybe a commercial break, as it looks like the caution is out. Once again, it looks like a crash in the back, but it looks like they saved it. It looks like it was a car spin, caused a caution, but they were able to save the car, so it looks like they kept it going.
Yeah, Esteban Munoz looks like was the car involved, looks like came really wide off of turn 2, bounced all the way down to the inside and made heavy contact with the inside retaining wall.
Yeah, as the race control the stewards have noted, self-spin, no further contact, no further action for this yellow. As we see right there, oh, heavy contact on the front left. He's going to feel it in his left leg. Oh, man, you hate to see it as the AMR safety team has brought him into pit road, took him out of the car, and it looks like he's going to get checked out. But Esteban Munoz wondering if he has a backup car, if he was not involved in that lap 1 wreck, and if he can keep it going. Kate, also, just a note for your weekly Jason Wallet update, looks like he was pacing around the field before that restart. He was getting the wave around, and it looks like he clipped the apron in turns 1 and 2 on lap 3, and he hit the wall hard head on, and he is now out of this race. And that is your weekly Jason Wallet update.
So it looks like that means that Wallet did use his first fast repair under yellow, and while he was trying to catch the field, unfortunately binned the backup car as well. So that will saddle Wallet with a 30th place finish, as we see Jacob Dick out of this race as well.
Oh, wait. I'm sorry. It looks like Jason Wallet did have a backup car, maybe. Wow.
Oh, all right.
Or his pit crew fixed it really quick, because right now he is on track. He's only 3 laps down, so... Well, yes, he does. I don't think it looks like he's going to win the race. He could potentially salvage some points here tonight. And speaking of points, look who's leading up front is a Leaf. Now, Kate, I'm not sure if you saw the points table for this series, but one person that's up there, Wyatt Burton. Now we have the Iowa doubleheader coming up soon. That's another oval racetrack that we're going to go into for this series, and also Michigan Speedway. So I feel like in terms of the championship, a Leaf does not have it as easy as he's had in the past semesters. Or what would you say differently?
Well, I think thus far, this season we've seen a couple of ovals, where guys Ryan Whitlock and Wyatt Burton were able to capitalize on just a different driving style, play a little bit of strategy, win those races, and gain points on a Leaf. And on top of that, we've seen a Leaf make mistakes on both the ovals and the road courses. He is a fantastic driver, but he is not invincible. I do have the points table up right now, and our Muhammad Alif is only leading by 6 points. And we are halfway through the season, which means it is wide open. Just 6 over teammate.
I heard 6. Man,
6
Kate, I'm telling you, man, from my experience being up here in the booth in the last year and a half, I mean, by the middle of the season, this man right there on your screen, he's like 40, 50 points ahead of his teammates and in front of the field. 6 points. Man, oh man, this is shaping up to be like a Formula 2024 season. Anyways, let's hope that the driver we want to win wins and no controversy happens, right?
No, we definitely don't need any controversy, but it would be really awesome if we could see a different winner, mix it up a little bit. There's a few other guys that are really close in points. If you said that Alif has a 50-point lead, last season, well, right here, there's 50 points between the top 6 drivers, all the way back to Wyatt Burton and Clint Halterman. So I think that this season is still wide open. We've still got 8 races to go after this one, a good mix of ovals and road courses, but this one still has yet to be decided, and we are going to go green right now. Edward, take it away.
And let's go, boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go, racing drivers. Once again, round number 3, as Alif once again takes the lead by a large margin. But Jay Cummings, we know he has the pace. He's going to come back towards him on the backstretch as he gets that nice slipstream. But here's a new contender for you, the 19, Ricky Paz. He's up in the mix now as Wyatt Burton falls back into 5th as Drew Williams makes the pass somewhere in the back. But Jay Cummings on the outside. He's looking to that clean air. He gets that nice slingshot. He gets that perfect run around the corner, down into turn 1, side by side. Ricky sends it to the outside. 3 wide potentially. He's not there yet, but as we see right there, side by side, it looks like Jay Cummings has the momentum, and it looks like Ricky Paz is going to try and give him a little bit of a bump draft down into turn 3, still side by side. Jay Cummings not trying to be able to hold on, but Alif says no, and he's going to hold off on the lead on the inside. And look at that, the orange of the Clemson car. Drew Williams on the inside. He's going to try and make a mix. Oh, and he gets a little bit of arrow wash right there as Ricky Paz takes 3rd place once again.
Oh, and I think Ricky might have tagged the wall a little bit there, but Ricky and Jake are going to have to be careful hanging on this outside. If they do it for too long, they're going to burn up those tires and feel it at the end of this run. So, they'll get a chance to save some tires under yellow as the caution has come out once again.
Matthew Norberg hit the back wall. Unfortunately, it looks like another self-spin.
76. Ooh.
I don't know if he had any help from a different angle. If we can try to get a rewind. Let's see right here. Oh, no. He hit the wall. That broke that right steering. And Cade, what happens when these cars, they're a little fragile, as someone might have said in Cars 2. But talk to me. That hit in the wall, you think in a NASCAR stock car, that's nothing. It's a little bit of rub your paint on the wall. With this car, it's over, isn't it?
No, Francesco Bernoulli, like you said it best. These cars are fragile. You get up there, you tap that wall just a little bit, it's going to break that right front toe. And as you can see, Nordberg, heavy damage to both the right front and the left front. Look to be really similar to the incident involving Esteban Munoz. And I would have to say that this could be something to do with cold tires. If you don't have as much grip as you're used to, you try to stand on the throttle coming out of the corner. You want to maintain as much momentum as you can. But if the tires just aren't up to temperature yet, you're going to tag that outside wall and it'll set you spinning to the inside. Is Nordberg going to have to use a fast repair here?
Oh, well, I was going to say he's hopping into that backup car. Look at him. He missed the pit stall for a little bit, but I think they made the car swap. Magically, now he's in the backup car and he's going to have one last shot. If this car breaks, it's over for him for the night. But, I mean, it's interesting, as you said, that these tires, they took a really long time to build up heat. And I mean, me personally, I felt I could not even last a lap going half the throttle through turns 1 and 2. The car either gets too loose or too tight. There's an optimal temperature, and these guys up front, I'm pretty sure they know their best, but people in the back might not be able to get that optimal tire temperatures in play. And as you saw, unfortunately, the 076 hits the wall hard and wrecks out. But, I mean, Cade, look at the top 5. They've all kept the same except for someone. And look at that. It was, I was misreading it a little bit there. But I was going to mention Ryan Whitlock and Brandon Schillenberger. They've been battling out. I have my super duper binoculars here up in the tower, and they've been swapping positions, but they haven't really made any gain on the top 5. As Clint also as well, just not able to get his way into that top 5 position.
Yeah, Schulenberger and Whitlock both started back in the back half of the top 10 where they still are. So we'll see if they can progress their way. Still over 130 laps to go in this one, so plenty of time for both those guys. Both experienced drivers from the Orange Wheel Racing Group. But yeah, still Alif leading, Cummings in second. How about Drew Williams driving his way up to 3rd? Ran really well last week before a late race incident, I believe coming to the white flag. crashed out of the top 10. So good rebound for Drew Williams from Clemson.
Good rebound indeed, but I mean, hey, all I'm saying is Drew and draft, like I would say high speed drafting courses like these, they don't bode well so well. I only speak of that out of experience. You know, I might have hang him out to dry in Daytona 250 last 3 weeks ago, and got the Vortex group a win with me and Kelton Quick with the top two and Drew out of the top three. So I'm cheering for my boy Drew Williams. He certainly has had a fair share of bad luck. Can tonight be the moment he can shine? And speaking of no longer shining, the pace car, or I should say the pace truck, as the lights are off, a Leaf getting ready to perhaps gap the field again. But I think now this is the third time Jake Cummings is going to be on his right behind them for a restart. Does he learn from the master? Well, we shall see here as boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing for the fourth time here at Texas. And it looks like once again a Leaf, but not really getting away too quickly, as it looks like Jake Cummings is just a tad little bit closer off of turn two. He's going to get a nice slipstream. Will he make a move? Once again, as we saw, as a Leaf always takes the inside, and proven right, he is going to defend the inside, and Jake Cummings is just going to take that free air on the outside, hoping that he gets a nice run. But look behind him. Drew Williams is going to send it to the inside. Can he make it split? He's going to go bound to the inside, but gets a little bit of aero wash as Jake Cummings, he slips to the outside, makes the move to P2, and he's still gaining ground. He's going to go to the inside. Oh, they made contact. A little bit of contact with Jake Cummings and our Muhammad Ali. I don't know, as Jake Cummings just went on the radio, he apologized. So I don't know if it was a late move by the 95 or Converse, but definitely very close, as now he's going to have to defend the outside. Drew Williams trying to sniff a little bit of the outside, that open air, but look behind him. That's Ricky Paz. He makes a pass around Wyatt Burton. He's going to try and make a move, but he stalled out. Drew Williams is going to move up now, trying to make a gap, as it looks like the top two, once again, locked side by side.
And like you said, using the draft, but not in the corners. You get a little bit of aero wash. You don't have enough downforce on the car. You slide up. We saw it happen right there to Drew Williams. He was looking to the inside for second. Now he's all the way back to fourth. That's how quick it can happen. Alif moves to the inside to break the draft. He's going to hold the white line. Now Cummings able to sneak up to him on exit. Is he going to be able to make a move down the front stretch? And he will. He pulls to the outside, blocks Ricky Paz. Now they're going to be dead even going into turn one.
I mean, hear me out. If Alif is just going to hold the inside, I would just say get a nice run and get to his inside, as Jake Cummings, he's going to take the outside. Ricky Paz perhaps giving him a little bit of bump draft here, as tries to give him that little bit of bump. Oh, we got a wreck in the back. Oh, no. Oh, it looks like Matthew Nordberg makes contact with, I believe, Jacob Dick, the rookie from Ball State, and he makes terrible contact on the backstretch, and someone is not happy.
And Jacob Dick had come out of the pits and was running 7 laps down. And it looks like Adrian Tubakovic washes up. And there's contact there. And then they both go piling down to the inside wall. Really unfortunate for both those drivers. I think all of those guys had already used a fast repair. And so this damage will have to be repaired the old-fashioned way.
And you know what I say to a race like that? It's terminal. It's over for the night, as we see here we're looking there from the tower, and just, he just took his right side. I think maybe he was trying to clear him, and Spotter was completely in the wrong, not clear, but I don't know. We can't really put him to blame there. But all I'm going to say is I was watching on board with Matthew Norberg, because I was wondering, he was making some good grounds. And all of a sudden, I just see a Ball State car in front of him, and he just absolutely got spun around. But, I mean, yeah, Cade, top 5. It is a cat fight up there. I mean, claws are out. They are not throwing any punch. They're throwing all the punches. They're not pulling any punches, as we see here with Nick Henley. Or sorry, it was I believe it was yeah, sorry, it was yeah, Nick Henley. It looks like, I believe I believe it was, as I said, with trying to see here, as we're gonna try and rewind here, folks. We're gonna go follow to the back. But yeah, as we saw from earlier, I mean, an unfortunate contact there, as we see right there with Jacob Dick. There it is. Looks like Jacob Dick tries to maybe make the switcheroo as he gets the pass underneath. I'm trying to remember who that car is, but he gets as he gets a little. Don't worry, folks. A little bit of technical difficulties, but it looks like I believe Jacob Dick got moved. He got passed
That
on
may
the
have been
inside.
Willoughby.
It was Will.
Sorry, we're trying to look for it. It
Yeah.
may have been Willoughby.
So Kate,
Uh,
was that the switcheroo? Like he tried to get back down to his inside, but
it was not
unfortunately,
Willoughby. Never mind.
as you saw, it was Nordberg. He was there, and I don't know. We're gonna try and hopefully get a viewpoint from that. But while we wait, Cade, I gotta say, I've seen some people online say that I am. Oh, and there we go. Let's can rewind. That is a 22 of Jacob Dick.
Yeah, the 076 of Matthew Nordberg as well.
So
But while we're doing this and looking at this, sorry, I did want to mention a few drivers. It looked like came down pit road under this caution.
yeah,
I
they
saw
went for
Brandon
fuel.
Schulenberger and Andrew Burrell dropping down pit road.
So, Cade, do you think they can go for fuel to the end here?
Oh, definitely not to the end, but what this may do is cut out a pit stop late, and yep, there it is. Jacob Dick continuing to move down the track. Didn't realize that the 076 was there, and they get a little bit stuck.
I
And-
don't think it was stuck. I think Jacob just put the gas to the pedal. He was, what's the word? Mad AF.
A little bit angry. But yes, what this is going to do is potentially be able to cut out a pit stop late. If you're looking at slicing this race up and going, hey, maybe we can run 70 laps, one pit stop would take you to 140. So let's pit right now and we can make it from here to the end on one more pit stop. Meanwhile, everybody else may have to take 2 pit stops. So we'll see if that works out. Brandon Schulenberger, Andrew Burrell, and a couple of others were on pit road that time. Clint Halterman as well. We are going back green with 125 to go. Muhammad Alif leads us to the green.
And look at that gap, but look right behind Jake coming. It's Ricky Paz. He's going to get a nice run. He's going to go to the outside, get that nice clean air. And then out of turn 2, he's going to try and dive out and get that slipstream. And now he's going to look to the inside. He makes the pass. Jake Cummings now holding on the outside. And I'm just telling you right now, Ricky is not too happy with the way Jake's been racing with them. I could tell you that for sure. So it's going to be interesting to see how he's going to make the passes. It looks like he's going to get a nice slipstream from Alif. Alif maybe trying to help him, trying to give him some momentum. But Jake Cummings on the outside. Oh, they almost made contact.
And a huge save from Ricky Paz. That car was sliding all the way from underneath him, but he manages to catch it and hold on to the 3rd spot. Is charged for the lead. He's going to have to sit back here, kind of lick his chops, and regroup, because I guarantee he heated those tires up something fierce there in turn 3. Now Cummings to the outside, once again looking for the lead.
I'm getting a little bit of deja vu, kid. I'm going to be real with you, as it looks like he's got to make a... Oh, he's got the run, and we got a leader change. And Jake Cummings for Converse University, folks, our first lead change of the night, goes to the 95, and it looks like we got a wreck in the back. And oh, this is ever so perfect as Jake Cummings makes the pass. And I think Ricky Paz was in front of Muhammad Alif.
That's right. Paz got a huge draft. Sorry, Paz got a huge draft down the backstretch with Cummings making that move. And it looks like Alif was scored as second, as we see Dylan Beatty from Ball State and Adrian Tubakovic involved in this one.
Netcode. I'm sorry, but that's a most
definitely looked like netcode.
If we can get a closer look there on his onboard of Dylan, let's see right here. I don't know if he got arrow loose. I mean, if we could go slow motion here.
Let's watch his hands and see the wheel.
Yeah, and hear the audio. Sometimes you can hear a little bit of a clip, but if we can go slow motion right here, go a little bit slowly. I think he lost it. I'm gonna be real. I think he got. I don't think it was netcode. From far away it looked like it, but I'm gonna be real. Oh, we have another point of view here, but I'm gonna say maybe he was trying to avoid him on top and try to keep turning down. And yeah, no, it's like you said, Cade. The cold tires, especially on these restarts when they're super aggressive and making moves like that, and especially I'm telling you, off of turn 2, that off camber off the corner and in the middle of the track, especially on the middle lane, it just upsets the car too much. And if you're turning left too much, your car is just going to spin out.
And something I did want to add is that Dylan Beatty was experiencing internet issues earlier today. Wasn't even sure if he was going to be able to race. So right there, what that could be is him overcorrecting in an attempt to avoid netcode. Obviously you don't want to make contact, but being conscious of the netcode, maybe you want to avoid even getting close. And right there, he just, like you said, pulled the wheel too far back to the left while the car was already unsteady and found himself pointed at the inside retaining wall. And
Hey,
so
and
we
so I
are
was gonna
going
say
to
race
rack him up
control.
again.
Okay, look at that race control, self spin, no further contact, no further action. I will say, oh, as they say, race control just put out another message. Just be mindful coming out of turn two. That's where these self spins are happening. So that is very interesting from the race stewards, which honestly, that's a good advice. I mean, I'm gonna be if I was a crew chief, I'd tell my driver, hey, turn two, it's a calamity corner. A lot of people are being upset. Might be something with the setup, might be something with the tires. Take it easy. It's a long race. We're only lap 30. And we saw with that spin, he has to resort to the backup car and he has no option left, especially if a late caution comes out and you're in the big one and you just can't keep going. So it is early, but Cade, I wanted to note something from earlier. That contact between Matthew Norberg and Jacob Dick, the 22 car, they deemed it as a netcode incident.
Well, so the way that these stewards have to do things is if there is any sort of net code at all, they have to rule it as an incident, right? There's no way to say, oh, if this had continued, it definitely would have resulted in contact. But to me, right there, it's one of those instances, like you said, it's lap 20, lap 30. There's no need to be going super duper aggressive, especially on cold tires, especially on this setup that wants to wash up towards the wall. So I still think, okay, there's no strike, but still both those drivers need to be put on notice. Everybody needs to be put on notice that we got to get some laps under our belt. We got to get this done. I'm excited for sure, but I want to see some racing, man. I'm tired of pace laps. I want to go get it. I want to go out
Same
there
here,
and
Cade. Well, look at the race length. We got 119 laps to go. So, but this time it's gonna be more interesting. As you see right there, Ricky he's ever so close. Look at him. He is stalking. He is really just almost on top of Jay Cummings there as they go into the Geico restart zone. Green flag is out. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing for the 5th time here at Texas as Jay Cummings pulls away. Oh, he is. He is smelling that rear wing indeed as Ricky Paz, the number 19. He's going to have a nice long draft here down the back straightaway, as we saw Jake Cummings do on a Leaf, as it looks like a Leaf in the back might be having some issues with Ryan Whitlock as Ricky Paz takes to the outside. But as you see right there, the blue Indy car from University of Alabama, Huntsville, he is stalking a Leaf having not much of a draft up front. It looks like he's going to be able to, and he moves to the outside, a late block. Ryan maybe having a better run out of turn two. Yes, he does. He's going to peek to the outside, inside. He's going to stay on the outside. He's going to go into turn three. It's too far away to make a move, but it looks like up front, Jake Cummings and Ricky Paz still battling it out. Now that allows these two drivers to come up, and now the top four. And he clips the grass. What a save by Ryan Whitlock. He nearly collided into our Muhammad Alif as he washed up the track, but once again, he collects the car, and he gets out scot-free.
Okay, Ryan Whitlock able to hang on to that car. Just ahead of him, Muhammad Alif. The first time that Alif has been in dirty air all race. So he is going to be learning a little bit right now. Go to school on Jake Cummings and Ricky Paz. See what you can learn, because this is probably how the end of the race is going to play out. Alif slides up there and Whitlock around the outside. It's Whitlock to third. And here comes Joseph Grajava. Huge run on Drew Williams. Grajava up to 6. Williams around the outside of Alif to the 4th spot.
Where did this rookie come from? At Gravala, he's trying to make a move on the outside of Alif. He's got that nice slipstream with, I believe, that is Drew Williams. So look at that. That is absolutely abysmal for Alif as he loses out on spots, and it looks like he's going to make a move on the outside. And it gets
not clear.
Not clear. No. As it looks like Alif has almost ended his career in that move right there, and almost ended tonight's race for him prematurely, but it looks like they saved it. And it looks like a slow car on the outside. I don't know if that's a lap car. I think
that is a lap car.
That is a lap car. That's I believe that's Ball State. But anyways, up front, the leader still Jay Cummings as Ricky Paz not letting him go, but Ryan Whitlock, now he is in the contention to maybe make a mark here up front as he slots in P3 with Drew Williams right behind him, and they make a move on the outside. Oh, and Ricky goes to the inside. He's going to try and make a move on Jay Cummings, but Jay Cummings, as we know, he knows how to defend from the outside. He can't make the pass, but he can defend. And it looked like Ryan Whitlock, as you see right there on your screen, folks, the University of Alabama Huntsville is in second place versus Converse University. Ryan, after that perilous save in that turn,
and he goes to the outside.
He goes to the outside, Cade. Can he make a move?
Whitlock is now going to stick it to the top, see if he can give Jake Cummings a little bit of a taste of his own medicine. Ryan is going to get low on exit and get a run off of turn 2. That's been dangerous all race long, but he stays out of the wall, gets side by side. And I got to say, I'm pulling for him. He's from my school, UAH, charge on. He's going to charge on the outside, maybe get a push from Drew down the front stretch. But Jake Cummings leads at the line as there is about 10 cars under a binky right now. Cummings to the outside, Whitlock inside. They're going to be dead even off of 2.
Dead even indeed, but it looks like right now he's still almost there. He's trying to side draft to his side down into turn 3, but it looks like once again still side by side, but maybe it looks like he got a better run. Jay Cummings, he did not get launched off that turn 4 well enough, so it looks like he's going to send it deep, and we have a new race leader. Ryan Whitlock, the 81 of UAH, is in the lead. He is leading here in Texas.
And he's going to go low on the backstretch to break the draft and give a little bit of help to Drew Williams. Williams now in third ahead of Alif. They're going to run single file for now, but that's going to change as soon as they hit the straightaway. A huge run from Alif covered by Drew. Whitlock leads the lap, but look at that. A mess of cars with Cummings holding on to second. Williams third. Now here comes Ricky Paz on the outside. Lucas Moody has made his way up into this mix, and so has your cup director, Nick Stockner.
I mean, Nick, my man, he is making his move up. He's now in P7. Folks, he started P31. Where did he come from? As right now, looks like on the outside is going to be a move by Ricky Paz on Drew Williams. Ricky trying to hold to the outside. He makes that great run. Oh, he taps the wall a little bit, but he gets it collected. As it looks like he gets to pull away up into P4. And that, a little bit of net code contact, or maybe he got a little bit loose, but he's going to now lose that progress and go back into P5.
Ricky has been having to save his car all day long, but he's kept it going in a straight line. Right now holding on in the 5th spot. He's put up about a second on Nick Stockner. Stockner moved up to the 6th spot. Oh, and he gets the wall again!
No!
And he saves it! We're still green!
Still green. Keep it going, folks. That's what I
Ricky
always
gets
say.
the power down and gets it rolling in the right direction, which moves Alif up to the 4th spot, Joseph Grzelva up to the 5th spot.
You know, I like that about Ricky. He kept the car going. Yes, he locked up the tires a little bit to keep the car straight, but he didn't completely lock it down. I say like that. Keep it green. Let's keep going. As it looks like Drew Williams under the attack of Alif. Now Alif onto his inside. As Drew Williams, he's going to have to hope for a good run off of turn 4. He kind of does. Side drafts him a little bit. Start and finish line. Down is the turn 1. Alif is going to now try to lunge it in. Slide job. Moves to the top part. Drew Williams, the crossover. And he's going to be able to hold out to the inside. But look who's behind them is Gravala, the rookie. He's going to try and get a nice run on the outside. He's going to get that slipstream from Alif. He's going to maybe make a move on Alif. He looks to his inside, down into the turn. Oh, wow. That was a close contact right there. Down into turn 1. He makes the pass as Alif falls back into 4th. Oh, I might have said that too soon. It gets a little bit of error wash. And now Nick Stockner stalking onto his inside. He's going to try and make a move down into turn 3.
I do want to give a slight correction here. Joseph Grzelva from Purdue, not exactly a rookie, ran a few races with us last season as well, but holding his own right now as a relatively new driver to the CIL. Right there, just got passed for sticks, but still running top 10 side by side with veteran Nick Stockner. He's going to get around the outside, a huge run, and very smartly decides to back out there. Could have hit the back of Drew Williams, but instead Grzelva decides to live to fight another day, as now he's going to have to deal with Keegan Kallick to his inside, and the yellow is out.
Man, oh man, when things just got interesting, but hey, I'm gonna just say this, Cade. You saw that block that I believe that was Drew Williams on the outside and Nick on the side, on the inside, as Nick Henley looks like he's gonna come to a rolling stop. They're teammates, Cade. Clemson, they're OWR teammates, so I think that was a little bit of a teammate action there, holding the outside, as it looks like that is. Oh no, that's Wyatt Burton. What happened to him?
Edward, your
Oh
pick.
no, wait, hold on. Let's see right there. And a little
Oh,
bit of oh man, but he's only. It looks like he's a lap down. He got his fix. So he's gonna have to hope for another caution, and he's next to go back on the lead lap. So Wyatt Burton looks like he got his backup car, and hopefully he gets to get back through the field. And man, you hate to see that, but as you saw, just a close contact. Oh, and it looks like I might have spoken too soon, as the leaders now have pitted in, except for one person who stayed out. It looks like I'm trying to get a read on who that is. I believe that's
Clint
Clint
Halterman.
Halterman. Clint Halterman. Oh,
This is
wow.
Halterman, Schulenberger, the guys who pitted earlier, have now elected to stay out. Everybody can make it from here to the end on one stop.
But you know who suffered that for the most? It's going to be Wyatt Burton and Lucas Moody. They were both one lap down. Had the leaders, everyone in front of them on the lead lap pitted, they would have the waiver round. They would have had the waiver round, and they would have been back on the lead lap. So Wyatt Burton and Lucas Moody, I'm sorry, folks, and I know there's two mothers out there in the audience who loves to watch these two boys race it out every week, and now they just got cut short, and so they're gonna have to fight for that lucky dog spot.
And we do want to update you guys. We see you in the chat. We know that the numbers are messed up. We're sorry about that. Not really sure what the issue is with those, but the last names are correct. And the indicators of student and alumni are correct. So in first place is your 100 car of Clint Halterman. The 81 of Whitlock is correct, but Jake Cummings should be in the 95. Elise should be in the 12. Stockner should be in the 124. So we do apologize for that, but the last names are correct. That is where those drivers are running. And Clint Halterman will lead us to the green. Looks like Tubakovic and Wallet will get a waiver round. But Edward, like you were saying, Moody and a couple other guys stuck at least one lap down because Clint Halterman did not pit.
Yeah. So I wanted to mention here, someone said Ricky Paz, P6, question mark. Someone said, no, Burton down. I think the side is messed up. Staley and Burton's numbers are switched. Yes. As we got Valerie Rocha saying, let's go, Grivala. Good luck to everyone. And so, yes, amen to that. I mean, this has been insane. I mean, now we have a new leader, Clint Halterman, out of nowhere. Well, after this pit stop cycle, as you said, so it's still 100 laps to the line, so they're gonna still have to pit for fuel. But I mean, hey, it's a little bit of a flip flop, you know. These drivers on different strategies, you know, just like Dr. Hyde and Jekyll, you know, two sides of a coin, different man, different drivers. Did I say that? I
think you got close enough.
Is
You
it
know what you're
is it
talking
Jekyll
about.
and Dr. Hyde? Oh my god, please no one make that into a hopeless core edit, please. Thank you. Anyways, boogity. Let's go racing with our new leader, Clint Halterman, as he takes the green flag, and away we go here in Texas. And what a gap he makes on the field down into turn one.
And last time we saw, once a few laps got underway, Ryan Whitlock was actually able to hold the lead rather than just switching it back and forth like we've seen in the past. Halterman going to try to get a big enough gap that he's going to be able to do that as well. He's got over a second on Whitlock and Cummings right now, so if it stays any larger than that, he may be able to stay far enough ahead that those two drivers behind him can't tow up on him. But we will have to see. If they get side by side for that second spot, it could allow Halterman to sneak away.
Well, look at the fight right there. Wyatt Burton, he says, I need to get back on the lead lap because he knows a caution might come out. So he's just driving it in deep on the outside. He's going to try and make it stick. I'm on board with him right now. Cheer him on. Come on, Wyatt. You're almost there to the start-finish line. Side by side with the leader. If the caution comes out now, he might be able to be back on the lead lap as he sends it hard deep into turn one. He's going to get a nice slipstream here onto the leader. Folks, this is not the race for the leader, but it looks like Clint trying to make a little bit of a block, but Wyatt Burton sends it down to the inside, and Wyatt Burton is back on the lead lap. So right now, I know what this kid is thinking. I need a caution. Folks in the back, wreck now. If you can hold out in front of Clint Halterman right now, he gets to be back on the lead lap. So right now, I am rooting for him. Folks in the back, just spin out or something. This will make things interesting.
And we saw this in the Indy 500. There is no free pass like there is in NASCAR. It means if you are ahead of the leader when the caution comes out, you will get your lap back. So right now, Burton has it, and that's Lucas Moody there right now immediately behind Clint Halterman, now side by side with Ryan Whitlock. Moody trying to do what Burton just did and get his lap back the old-fashioned way. If he can get the draft here, those two drivers may be able to hold serve in front of Halterman until the next caution, but we'll have to see. That is Lucas Moody from Ball State trying to follow in the tire tracks of Wyatt Burton. Jake Cummings has gotten by Ryan Whitlock for second. That purple car from Converse, now he is going to try to maybe follow one of these lap cars through and get around Clint Halterman as well.
Yes, apologies for the free pass. I have oval on my mind every day. But yes, you are right. No free pass here. So they're going to have to be in front of the leader and have to overcome them by raw pace and speed. As it looks like on the outside, it looks like Clint Halterman is going to make another move here down into turn one, trying to make a move on Wyatt Burton. As I can hear his tires, he is gunning it as Wyatt Burton's tires are just shredding. And I mean, right now, like I said, Wyatt Burton is praying to the iRacing gods, a caution or something, someone in the back. But it's whenever you need a caution the most, it almost never happens. So he's gonna have to try to hold on as once again another chance here of Clint Halterman on the outside. He doesn't make it stick, but Wyatt Burton holds on to the inside, and he's going to try and break the draft. He breaks it a little bit as they bob and weave down the back straightaway. And once again, Lucas Moody right there with them, third in line.
And Clint Halterman really doesn't have a huge reason to try to defend and fight these guys. He doesn't want to get double wide. He doesn't want to burn up his tires, but he's got to go as fast as he can because the second and third place cars are coming. So if he does need to fight those guys to maintain a little bit of track position, they're not for spots, but he's got to maintain that gap. And I think this means that Halterman is pushing his car a little bit harder than maybe he wants to right now.
I think he is, because right there, Jake Cummings makes the pass on Lucas Moody and Joseph Gravala. He is now in third place. So between Wyatt and Clint, there's nothing really, as I think Clint wants to get around them. Oh, and it looks like we got a lap traffic up ahead. Ricky Paz. He's gonna stay at the bottom, so leaders are gonna go up high. This means that Clint is gonna get a nice slipstream down the front straightaway, but he's not gonna make a really big move, as it looks like Wyatt Burton once again up front, not leading, but barely holding on in the lead lap.
And something must have happened to that 19 car, Ricky Paz. He was up there fighting with those leaders, and he has now dropped 4 laps down. And like we said, off the pace, you see there, contact with Adrian Tubakovic. Looks like it tore the wing off of that 19 car for ECU. And guess where this happened, Edward? Turn number 2.
The stewards never lie. And I'm not going to lie, I saw that for a second and I go, caution? Does this mean Wyatt Burton is saved? Because he's still fighting everything he's got up front. As Clint Halterman barely makes the pass, they're side by side down the front straightaway. And it's going to be once again down into turn 1. But Clint's got a better run. And it looks like Wyatt Burton just sends it in deep, hoping to get an extra mileage. But I hear those rear tires.
Hard into the inside wall. Back up into the racing line. The yellow's out, and Burton gets the lead lap.
Wyatt is back in the race. That's what I'm talking about. My pick is still alive, baby. Anyways, so that means that Wyatt is going to be able to cycle to the back of the lead. And Ryan Whitlock with almost a sport ender as we went time traveled in the daytime for a quick second. It looked like Ryan Whitlock. Oh no! As we're gonna try and get on board with him, I believe he once again, as you said, right off of turn 2, gets loose, hits that inside wall. He has nowhere to go. Holding the brakes, he goes, no, hit it! Ooh. I'm gonna give that 5 big booms in terms of how many times he hit, because that was 5 times he got hit right there.
Yeah, and it's just that helpless feeling. You know, you see your car pointed at the inside wall, and unfortunately, nothing for Whitlock to do. overcorrected just a little bit to try to keep that thing out of the fence, and instead it sent him down to the bottom. Now, I've crashed a lot of cars with UAH on the side of it, so I know the feeling. But unfortunately, this is going to force Whitlock to use
there's
his
a car
fast
went.
repair.
I'm sorry, Kate. You saw that car go upside down?
I did
guy
not, but
was
I want it on
flying.
board.
That guy was flying through the air. I don't know who that was, as that was a Rocket League moment, and we know that Ryan Whitlock tends to fly.
Who is that?
I don't know. We're gonna have to probably look back. I'm trying to look with my super duper binoculars and time travel in the past. Let's see if we can get another look here. I'm trying to
You
see.
can see this in slow motion. That may be able to help us take a look at who it was. Oh, that's Cale Davidson was one of the cars involved. And it's that white car there. That's the 9 of Andrew Voigt. Turns into a spaceship for a moment.
Oh yes, and I just need. Please go on board with this man, because you're gonna see what happens here. As he's gonna try to avoid.
Nowhere to go.
He hits upside down, and then I'm not sure if we can get a driver eye cam. I'm pretty sure we installed that. Yep, there it is, folks, right there. And he's hopelessly trying to hold on, and he gets up into the fence. He nearly flies over the fence. He does 6 barrel rolls before he finally lands upside down, and the car comes to a screeching halt. And the guy and his crew chief, the spotter, is saying, "Are you okay?" I that's not what I was going for, but sure. I was gonna say, "Driver, are you okay?" And the AMR safety team has pulled him out, and I believe they're putting him back in the. I think they're putting him in a backup car. Wow, Andrew Voigt, you are one tough son of a gun. And but look right there, folks. Look who's leading.
Clint Halterman has come down pit road. Sorry, there. I'm just going to clear that up. Yeah, Halterman down pit road, and Joseph Grzalva to the lead, able to avoid a lot of incidents, keep his car clean, and get around some of the fastest guys. Edward, we do have somebody to talk to here. Dylan Beatty from Ball State offered to give us an interview. What do you think we bring him in while we're under yellow here?
Yeah, let's do it. Let me bring him in here. All right. Dylan Beatty, man, oh man, welcome once again to the booth, but unfortunately not in the way you want to be. Talk to me, driver. What happened tonight?
Howdy, y'all. I hope you're doing good. Unfortunately, it's been a kind of a rough week. Fortunately, Ball State, we are on spring break right now. So I'm racing from home, so I haven't had the best of internet connectivity throughout the week. So I tried going into this race doing the best that I could. Unfortunately, that the incident that I had, I think it was Drew Williams or one of the Auburn cars. They didn't go up to the wall like most people have been coming out at 2, and I thought he was gonna come down on me, and it didn't really leave me much room. And I'm on a Logitech, and as most people know, the force feedback on them isn't very well. So by the time you figure out you're spinning and losing control of the car, there's not much you can do. So that's kind of what caught me out. I tried getting back in the race, but my internet kind of started to take a dump, so I kind of stopped.
Well, Dylan Beatty, unfortunately, it is a quick night, but we're going to go green here. And while we go green, we have a rookie. Well, I consider him a rookie, but I know he's been here in the past. Joseph Gravala, he's now leading up in the field, and Jay Cummings down to the inside. But Dylan Beatty, please tell us a quick shout out before we let you go.
I'm gonna obviously have to give my Ball State teammates Alif, Nick, Kel, Lucas, Jake, big shout out, especially Alif for pushing us as hard as we're able to go. Obviously my family for having faith in me and being able to do this, and my girlfriend as well for putting a lot of time and effort and allowing me to do this and not taking time out of my day.
Well, thank you, Dylan Beatty. Have a good rest of your day, and good luck in your next race.
Thank you, guys.
Well, folks, that was Dylan Beatty, and unfortunately out of this race too soon. But guess who's not out of the race too soon? Jay Cummings. He's up front, but look behind him. Our Cup director, very own Nick Stockner. He's going to go to the outside, sniffing a little bit of the open air, and he's going to try and make a move as the both Clemson cars of Nick Stockner and Drew Williams right behind Cade. Joseph stalled out.
Yeah, he was able to get to the lead, but Cummings, I think, just has a lot more experience in those tense restart situations, was able to get that 95 car fired off as best as he could. Now, we've seen really good things out of Grzelva once he's back in the draft, so he's not going to go away too far. But right now, sitting in the 5th spot, kind of going to cool his stuff down, maybe take another run at it. I think if this race goes green, it'll work better for Grzelva. But right now, He's got to maybe hope that we stop crashing and stop having restarts, as Stockner had a look to the inside, got super tight. Williams had to bail out of the gas. Grzyalva bailed out of the gas, and they're able to keep it in a single file line.
I do gotta give a quick update for the Wyatt Burns situation. He has started in P9 and P20 up into P18. He's got some lap traffic ahead of him, but he's making his way through the field. But I think, as you see right there, he is a little bit far off from the peloton or the main pack. I think he is saving his tires. He has that clean open air. He's taking it nice and easy. He's actually lifting into the corners. I've been looking at his telemetry. So right now I have him on the side of my view on board. So it looks like he takes the inside, trying to save as much tires as he can. So he's already into the back of the field, as I mentioned. So it's going to be quite a show in the back. But let's focus on the leaders, because we cannot digress. As Jake Cummings gets passed by Nick Stockner, new race leader, Cade. Nicholas Stockner is in the lead, and three wide
for the lead in the turn one.
Can they stick it? Jake Cummings into the middle. He's going to shoot the gap. I think he's going to get a nice run out of turn two, but it looks like Nick Stockner, he's going to try and sidetrack. But his teammate, Drew Williams, maybe a tag team, tag him in, folks, as Drew Williams, he's going to look on the outside. He's going to want to take a shot at getting the lead tonight.
And they might technically be teammates, but they are definitely going to race each other hard. That's Drew Williams, Nick Stockner, both OWR drivers, both from Clemson, as a huge block from Grzyalva there to hang on to the fourth position. As, that's Nick Stockner got tight on the bottom. Grzyalva's going to clear him. Now he's middle of three going into turn three, and that's Marlo Duncan and Cale Davidson. How about Marlo Duncan from Milwaukee? Haven't talked about him much all day, but him now up into the top five.
And Cade, this is why I love this type of racing. Everyone can have a shot to win. Everyone could be up front. And you have guys like Marlo Duncan out here putting himself in the top six. I mean, an incredible night for him. But and look at Alif back in seventh. He is not doing really good on these restarts. You can maybe consider him like SVG and Coda from last weekend. Has a good qualifying form, but is just terrible at the restart. So now Jake Cummings up front, as it looks like Drew Williams is going to have a run. He's going to go to the outside. They make almost contact, side by side, down the back straightaway. Looks like it. Oh, and Joseph Gravala, he's now in the picture. He's now back through. He's on the inside. He's going to maybe try to get a good run, maybe send it three wide. But behind him is Cale Davidson. Where has he come from?
Cale Davidson has driven his way up from the back. Another guy driving his way up from the back. Clint Halterman pitted on that last caution. He is up to the 9th spot. Muhammad Alif, at one point back in 10th, is now back up to 6th. So we got a lot of different storylines to focus on right here. A huge contact! Duncan into the wall. Alif into the wall. Big crash. 6 cars involved.
Wyatt Burns got through. I was on board with him throughout that. He got through like Lightning McQueen. Oh man. But Alif out of this race. Well, he has a backup car, but wow. I want to go on board here with Wyatt Burns and look at the tragedy up ahead as we go out of turn 2. Just an immense run. And he's making the move on the inside, and he sees up front all that wrecking. But remember, the high banks of Texas, they're going to start coming, spinning down, and barely gets through. And so, wow. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm not biased or anything, folks. I just love a good comeback story. I love it when you have drivers who have the impossible challenge in front of them have accomplished the impossible as he gets through there, as all the cars, as you saw, if Wyatt Burns was a second slower through there, they were going to come down on him and wreck him out. As we saw a lot between, I think, P4 to P12, all wrecked out. I mean, I want to see how this start, Cade. Tell us.
Well, it looked like Marlo Duncan got a little bit squirrely, tried to go 3 wide with Nick Stockner and Marlo Duncan. It just didn't work. Stockner was involved. Matthew Nordberg, I saw, was involved. Honestly, we'd be better off listing the drivers who weren't. As you can see, Brandon Schulenberger crumpled up. There was another car back there. I believe Andrew Burrow got up and into the catch fence. Ben Fiore, huge hit for that machine. I don't know if he's already used a faster pair, but that's Fiore. Nordberg spinning like a top down the banking.
Ooh. I mean, he must have been pulling 45 Gs.
I mean, I know it's a virtual game, but man, that hurts to watch. If we could get a slow-mo shot looking at, Nick Stockner here. He's going to hold the outside, and Duncan, I believe, just gets into his left rear. Hard to put that all on Duncan because You know, it's
I
so hard to make these split-second reactions.
I think what amplifies this a lot, and I thought I saw was that wheel hop, but a little bit of netcode too. I mean, the way that these drivers are just every millimeter, every single down to the minute detail, every split decision can cause the big one. And to be honest, Cade, remember what I talked about you before? That was the big one.
That was the massive one. I would say at least 9 cars involved. As we're going to go fast motion here, Duncan peaks to the middle. A Leaf, I think, was expected to go just a little bit lower. Duncan thinking that that Ball State number 12 was going to hug the white line. Instead, a Leaf straight about a lane up, and it just didn't quite leave enough room for the 84 of Marlo Duncan. You can see as this wreck was happening, Drew Williams took the lead, so he will restart from the first position. But we're going to get a good look here. This is farther back in the pack with Matthew Norberg, now back up front with Marlo Duncan. You see Duncan is clear, and yeah, a Leaf a little bit high. Stockner comes a little bit low, and Duncan gets turned into the meat of a veteran driver sandwich. There's Schulenberger getting collected.
That's a good one.
Nordberg
I
gets
will
turned into a
say,
ramp.
it's so difficult when you're following them in front. You have so much confidence, but I gotta say this, man. Look at this top 10. Williams finally leading a race. Jay Cummings right behind them. We know he's strong on this restarts. Joseph Gravala in third. Cale Davidson in fourth. Connor Bingle.
Connor Bingle.
I
Hang on. I gotta shout this
dude,
man out.
to shout this man out. That's your teammate.
This is a UAH's certified short track racer with a beautiful paint
Woo!
scheme. I made it, so I get to say that it's beautiful and it looks awesome. If we could get a close up on that car. Glorious car, glorious driver. Connor Bingle restarting in the 5th spot. And we now have under 70 laps to go from Texas. Andrew Williams going to lead us to the green flag, and we're racing.
Glorious start for Drew Williams right there, but maybe even a more glorious start for Jay Cummings as he's going to get a nice slipstream out of turn 2. We know rinse and repeat. Let's see if he's going to get a nice drive here, as it looks like he's going to be able to maybe close the gap down into turn 3. He's going to look to the outside. Jake Cummings sends it deep in, but Drew Williams has the advantage on the inside. Will he come up? Yes, he does. He does a switcheroo. He tries to block to the outside, but it looks like Jake Cummings on the inside, side by side down into turn 1, but it looks like Drew Williams not enough speed, and it looks like Jake Cummings capitalizes on another restart and is in the lead. But further in the back, I want to mention, Connor Bingle, 5th place, top 5. Wyatt Byrne behind them, but they've caused a gap. Looks like the top 4 pulled away as side by side, Drew Williams and Jay Cummings nearly made contact. A little bit of netcode maybe as they both separate for a little bit, and now they're back together. Cade, things just got started up here, even though there's only 4 cars battling it out.
And they are all drafting together, all in a pack. I mean, just like we see in kind of a NASCAR race a little bit, where it gets split off into these packs, right? These guys are all together. Then behind them, it's Connor Bingle, Wyatt Burton, Zohir Mirza, all those cars grouped together in a different pack. You know, behind them, Clint Halterman, and so on and so forth. But these 4 are going to find themselves stuck together like glue for probably the next 5 to 10 laps before those tires get a little bit of wear on them. Still, they're going to be side by side for the lead. Williams, is he going to send it in deep into the corner? He washes up just a little bit, should get a good run on corner exit though. He's going to still stay side by side to the outside of Cummings. Jake Cummings technically leads that lap, but Drew is not letting him go.
Hey, and look at all this battling. Look who's right behind them. That's right, folks. The 68 of UAH of Connor Bingle and Tryon University Wyatt Burton. They both have swap positions, but I feel like they're going to now work together. I think Wyatt is saying, look, I got a fast car, draft behind me, let's catch up. And now they are, as they're still both up front, the top 4, side by side, 2 by 2, 4 cars in total, and still holding position. As once again, it looks like Jay Cummings finally makes a pass, but once again, Drew Williams looks to the outside, gets that free air, tries to make a move. He's going to try and maybe make a better run out of the turn 4. He does actually. He's going to do a little bit of a side draft out of the tri-oval into turn 1. But look who's there right behind. Now he's in the frame. Wyatt Burton. He's got 2 cars to really work out first. That's Cale Davidson and the Ball State up front, and Joseph Gravala. They both have strong contending up front. But we know Wyatt Burton, he actually And if my notes are right, he's got 16 lap fresher tires. And he has been going through the field. But remember, that big wreck that happened earlier, he got through scathe-free. He didn't have to use up too much of the tires. So I feel like right now, Wyatt Byrne, he's got the biggest advantage right now if he can capitalize it. Maybe he's going to make the first move. Yes, he does. Down into turn 3. He's going to make that move into turn 3. He's going to make that pass on the inside as he gets that nice slipstream from Jake Cummings. Side by side, he's still going to try and make a move. He's going to make the move to third place. Wyatt Byrne down is the turn 1. I'm telling you, folks, things just got interesting again as he's got those fresh tires, but he gets a little bit of air wash. That dirty air not helping him out too much, even with fresh tires. But once again, side by side, Drew Williams, Jake Cummings, they're just hurting themselves too much, Cade.
Yeah, as those cars get side by side, it just makes it harder and harder to get the power down. You can't use the whole track if you've got someone next to you, and that's what allowed Burton and Bingle to close down nearly a full second in just about 3 laps to catch this group. Wyatt Burton now side by side for the 3rd spot. I'm with you. I'm all for a redemption story and kind of, I don't want to call him an oval merchant because he is really good on the road courses as well.
He's amazing on the road courses. I remember when he was first debuted on the road. Man, he had a great debut, and maybe can he debut himself across the start-finish line down to the turn 1. He's just trying to get that fresh air, but Jake Cummings, that inside lane, but if he can come up, he's not clear. He lets Joseph have the outside, and Drew Williams down to the inside. Here, gonna go side by side down into turn 3. Something new now. Slide job almost, and it looks like that dirty air took Jake Cummings off his nose, and that allows Drew Williams to get up in the first place. But now, side by side is the 2nd and 3rd. Jake Cummings, Joseph, and Wyatt Byrne sticks it to the middle. He has that fresh air, that fresh tires. Can he do something? No, as Joseph makes that better run out of turn 2, and now Joseph up into P2 as Jake Cummings is gonna fall back into P3.
And Grijalva got a huge run off the outside. I think he really noticed that a few times earlier in the race as well. If you can get that car close to the wall near the exit of the corner, you can point it down a little bit, get the power down. And if you have the draft, here he goes, turn 1. Grijalva going to try it again. It's important to note that turns 1 and 2 are different than 3 and 4 is nearly contact. But Grijalva's figured something out in 1 and 2. It's going to burn up his tires. Running the outside will burn up your tires. But right now, Joseph Grijalva, just about 50 laps to go.
He's clear. Wyatt Burton takes P3, but that's because of that fresh tires. So now he's going to take that Joseph's line. He knows that outside is going to have a nice run. As Jake Cummings, he's going to get a little aero wash behind Drew Williams, but also Wyatt Burton not able to capitalize it. But I think what Joseph was trying to do, as you said, that outside, and Jake Cummings makes the block. I thought that's a little bit of a late move right there, as it looks like that helps Joseph get back up there, and he's going to take that outside. As Jake Cummings, he's going to relegate himself to the outside lane. Wyatt Byrne down to the inside. This is not helping him out too much, as I know Wyatt Byrne, with those fresh tires, once again washes out. I mean, Cade, I'd be frustrated. I'd be mad. I know these tires are good, but that aero blocking is just too much.
And as the run goes on, they're just going to equal out more and more and more. It's been about 10 laps since the restart, which means there is a little bit of wear on those tires. Everybody's feeling it. Whether or not you've got fresher tires, still not fresh. Speed is gone. You've lost a few tenths of a second. It's even harder to drive in dirty air, as Cummings now looking to the inside again, but it's going to be a lot easier to get clear because Drew just does not have the grip. Not doing anything wrong, but those tires are just a little bit aged.
You know, it's funny. I am looking at Wyatt's strategy. Every time out of turn 4, he's trying to get to the outside, the right rear of Joseph Grijalva. And he gets a little bit of snap over loose right there. Side by side, Jake Cummings tries to set into the inside, but Wyatt Byrne, take a look what he does. He takes the outside line, and he's going to try and maybe, hopefully, get a nice run into Joseph. He's going to try and slip. He's going to make the move onto the inside. He's going to try and maybe make something happen here as he's going to go down back onto the inside, side by side. And it's once again, as you see right there, that aero wash, he has to lift the car so much. And Joseph makes the run on the outside. I mean, it's a little bit of a gridlock now with these 3, or I should say 4 drivers up front.
Yeah, there's this group of about 5 or 6, depends on if you include Connor Bingle. I got to shout out Connor again. He hadn't run a practice lap at Texas in the IndyCar until tonight. And
really?
Right here, I think he's just learning a little bit right now. Hang back, maybe let these guys wreck each other, but he's sitting there. He's learning some things. He's got a big gap back to Clint Halterman, who is a fantastic IndyCar driver in his own right. So Bingle right now sitting very solidly in 6th with 50 laps to go and only 11 cars on the lead lap. Edward, can you believe it?
I can, and I cannot believe that Wyatt Burton has cleared himself once again across Joseph, as it looks like, once again, he lets him have the outside. I mean, I feel the frustration, especially with Drew Williams. Drew Williams trying to make a run outside of Jake Cummings. I mean, here's what I'm thinking. These 3 drivers. Oh, and Wyatt Burton's looking to the inside. Oh, he was going to maybe make it 3 wide. He has that fresh air right there. He's finally got that clean air. He has the tires. But also, once again, Joseph on the outside gets a better run. Here's what I would tell my driver if I was Wyatt's crew chief. I'd say, you know what? Lay back, because look behind them. The gap between the top 4 and the main pack is a lot. Look at that. Only Connor, I think that's Cale Davidson, just barely hanging on. So, I mean, I have not raced in a scenario like this, but I would think maybe lay back, save the tires, and get a better run as it goes on. Because, like I said, Wyatt Burton has 15 fresher tires compared to these drivers up all around him. So I would hate to see that advantage just slip away if he's just so close and not much happening.
But it's not all about when you put your tires on. It's also about how well you save them. Kind of getting at it there as Burton goes inside looking for the lead. But it's about how you manage those tires as well. Burton had fresh tires, but he was super aggressive. It really helped him in Indianapolis. But right here, if we run this thing out for another 46 laps, all of these guys are going to have super cooked tires. It may come down to just a little bit of load management. As how about Clint Halterman? Now he has gotten around Bingle and he's within a second of the lead. Halterman, another guy who not only is on fresh tires, but he's been saving them a little bit.
He has been saving, and I've been tracking him from the back. He, like you said, restarted last on the caution because he got fresh tires. He got his way through, and Clint actually has 26 laps. So he has 15 lap fresher tires than Wyatt Burton, and Wyatt has 15 lap freshers than all these guys. So Clint is on 30 lap fresher tires than all these guys around in the top 4. So I think now that Clint has appeared in the picture, he might have a better shot here. As we'll see how much tire usage he really had to take to get up here, and if he has any left in the tank.
And I think that's just a little bit of a difference in strategy and mentality. Burton got the fresh rubber and decided to go hard, thinking, hey, maybe we're going to get a couple more cautions. Maybe track position early is going to be super important. Meanwhile, Halterman decided to lay back, see if he could get a green flag run.
He's going to the pits. Drew Williams, our race leader, have gone in to get fresh fuel and maybe tires. We shall see.
Yeah, I don't think he was going to be able to make it to the end. Sorry.
No,
based on when he last pitted, more cars in. Connor Bingle in.
Whoa.
I believe that's Marlo Duncan.
I mean, right. We have 42 laps to go at the line. So, and it looks like, yeah, all these drivers that were they've been out for 58 laps. And you said it, right? 60 to 70 laps on these fuel. And these front runners, they were going hard. So based off those calculations, as it looks like Joseph Gravella, he is the only one that's still out. He has 60 laps, for 59 laps, as we see Drew Williams now finally heading off of pit road. But Wyatt Burton, 43 laps. Aiken Lamar, 28. Clint Halterman, 29. So I believe Clint and Lamar, they can stay out for another 30 laps. Wyatt needs to go in the next 15 laps.
And if that's the case, everybody still needs to make one more stop, except for the guys who just came in, which could cycle this race out so we get the exact same pack, the exact same group of guys to end the race, which would be exciting. You see Cale Davidson in, Joseph Berjalva in, like you just mentioned. Those drivers had to pit. Burton, Halterman, and Lamar can go a few more laps. Andrew Burrell is on his own strategy. I believe Zohir Mirza is going to have to pit here in a few laps. And so is the 321 of Alex Finnerty. I don't know who's going to shake out as the leader here. I don't know what the best strategy is.
I'll tell you what the best strategy is right now. It's to maximize your lap time. Wyatt has he has the clean air. And we know, and a little bit of deja vu right now is he's holding up Clint Halterman. Not really holding up. They're battling for the lead. Just like how he was trying to make the pass around him and stay on the lead lap. Now it's the same situation, except now they're battling for the lead. And we saw Wyatt was able to hold off Clint Halterman. So now here's the idea. since Wyatt is going to have to overpit these guys who had to go in because they were really running low on fuel, right? Wyatt has fresher tires. Maybe with this clean air, he gets to have a much better run. As we see, I'm trying to see in the back over there. I think Jay Cummings was one of the first ones. They're currently lapped down. So hear me out. If Wyatt Burton can stay out for another 12 laps, he is hoping, I'm telling you right now, he is praying for another caution. He's asking for another miracle like before, because if a caution does come out, there's only 6 cars on the lead lap. That's Wyatt, Clint, Aiken, Andrew, Zohair, and Alex Trinity. Those top 6 drivers, if a caution comes out, they can get in, get their fuel, get their 4 tires, and they will stay in their position. The first car lap down, Lucas Moody, followed by Benjamin Fiore, Jake Cummings, Drew Williams, Kel Davidson, Joseph Gravala, and Connor Bingle are the only cars lapped down. That's P7 to P13. So right now, it would be detrimental for those folks who are lapped down to get the caution. And look at that!
It happened again, Edward. How do you do it?
Give me my money!
It's the opposite of the commentator's curse. Wyatt Burton is your leader.
Oh my God!
With 32 laps to go when we take the green. How much were you paid to do this, Edward?
Listen,
how much
folks,
money slid under the table?
Listen,
anyway,
folks,
huge for these guys.
This is huge. I don't even have to repeat myself. I just said it, and this is what happens. This is what happens every time. This is what happens every time. Listen, all I'm saying is, Cade, I have my lucky shirt on. I have not worn this shirt. I usually wear this shirt for commentary. I've worn my Baruch ESA jersey for my competitions, and lately they've been giving me bad luck. So I said, you know what? Let me put on the old uniform. And looks like it's a good luck charm for whoever I'm cheering on. As it looks like Keegan, he's the one that caused the caution when he spun out of pit road. But hold on, can we go to the live feed right now as the leaders are now going into the pits? So right now, the battle for the lead is in the pits right now as Wyatt Burton and Clint Halterman are heads to toe right there as Wyatt Burton. It's going to be now a battle of who gets in the box quick in and out. Whoever caused that caution has made this race interesting, as it's going to be 4 fresh tires, 4 fresh black. So, oh no, Wyatt Burton has slipped. I was going to say, it looked like Clint Halterman. He drove through Wyatt Burton and caused him to have a little bit of a mess up. And I think that was a distraction that Clint Halterman used ever so coy. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I would do the same thing if I could. And that was to really knock off the concentration. But just to let everybody know, how did he get through? As we see right here, they're both, I think they are a box apart. So Clint doesn't do anything wrong here. It just so happened that I think Wyatt got a little bit distracted when Clint kind of came in a little bit fast and lost his marks. But hey, hear me out, Cade. Would you rather be the one leading the race or the guy behind ready to make his move?
Honestly, I think as long as I'm in the top 5, I'm feeling like I'm in a pretty good spot, you know. We've seen the lead change so many times. We've seen guys from even outside the top 5, 6, 7, 8. We've seen them drive up to the lead and get those spots back. So I think both of them are going to be in good spots here. You know, Halterman not out of it, Burton not out of it. How about Aiken Lamar, Andrew Burrell, Alex Finity, and Zohair Mirza? You were cheering on Wyatt. I'm cheering on Wyatt, but it was also a huge break for all of those drivers.
I was gonna say your man.
Huge for those guys.
It's a huge move, especially for Andrew Burrell. And I mean, I could say this: Clemson driver. I remember when he won as the alumni driver last semester in, I think, St. Pete's or somewhere at a street circuit, and Andrew Burrow was just ecstatic. So I know he's got some family members watching in the chat, so cheer him on because he also has a good shot to win. But as you see right there, now the drivers who have pitted early, that is Lucas Moody, Benjamin Fiore, Jake Cummings, Drew Williams, Kel Davidson, Joseph Gravalli, Connor Bingle, took the wave around. They are now on the lead lap. Those 6 drivers that I just mentioned from P7 to P13, 7 drivers. They are on, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, 9 to 10 lap old tires. This
And
may
I do
not be
think,
a lot and enough, but I think this will make a difference.
sorry, I just did want to mention there, Luke
Go
Smitty,
ahead.
Ben Fiore, I don't believe those drivers have pitted yet. They were a lap down, so they
I
did
was
get a
gonna.
wave around,
Oh, but they're
but I
38 and
believe
39 laps. They're actually
mm,
not gonna make it on fuel. So they're gonna hope for another caution because they're not gonna be able to make it to the end. But I know who's gonna make it to the end. Them top six as the pace truck is off. Cade, we're gonna go one more time around here, hopefully. Boogity boogity boogity. Let's go racing as Claire Halteman takes the lead, but right behind him, Wyatt Burton not letting him go. Not a single chance as Claire Halteman tries to maybe put some gap, but it looks like off of turn 2. Wyatt Burton's going to get that nice run down the back straightaway, but maybe not enough as down into turn 3. He's not there. 2 car lengths, now 1 car length. Can he get anywhere closer as he gets a nice run off of turn 4? He goes up high, tries to dive down to the start-finish line. He gets to his outside, his right rear. This is the favorite move he does as he's going to make another lunge down out of turn 1 into turn 2. He's going to get a nice run, but it looks like those fresh tires of Claire Halteman getting up to speed, able to hold off as they weave down to the back straightaway. He tries to break off the draft, but he's not able to really do it effectively as Wyatt Burton holds off to the outside. But look who's behind them. Aiken Lamar in P3. We haven't talked about this fellow in a while, but that man right there, he is going through the field. The 094 driver, he is closing in, but those two up front almost made contact down into turn 3 as it looks like Claire Halteman weaving down to the last second possible in order to maybe hold off to the lead. But we know that inside, in a 1v1 situation here, you want to be on that inside line, Cade.
yes, you do, and it's going to come down, I believe, to the last lap. Who can get a run? So right here, you've got 28 laps to go, and this reminds me so much of Indianapolis, where Wyatt Burton excelled. He was able to figure out, I want to be the leading car coming out of turn 4, to be able to make a block. It's going to be the same situation, getting the draft, avoiding dirty air, but maintaining momentum. So I think Burton is going to find himself the spot that he needs to be in. Don't discount Clint Halterman. Halterman, an equally smart driver. He's done this before countless times, which means we are in for an absolute treat. A battle of grandmasters, if you will.
I gotta say, right now, looks like the lap cars have now been shuffled through the field. Nick Stockner, the only one a lap down, well, the closest to the leader he is. Behind them, Alex Trinity, he is 7 lap old tires as he pitted, but look at Jay Cummings onto the outside, 3 wide as he splits the outside, and Nick Stockner gets left behind. But that's it, folks, right there. Look at that guy, Converse University 95. I believe to this season, he has yet to get a win. He's been runner-up multiple times, and this season has been full of ups and downs, and especially like this past Monday in the Seattle Cup, he got wrecked out on the first lap. So Jake Cummings wanting to make this week end on a higher note. He has currently 16 lap tires. He has 8 lap older tires, but he's in 4th place, catching up to Aiken Lamar. He's got fresh air in front of him. He has to chase him down. Currently 2.3 seconds, I believe 4 seconds behind the leaders.
And it's going to be hard to make that time up if he doesn't have the draft. Yes, he's got clean air, which is going to help him through the corners, but nobody kind of close enough in front of him on the straights to give him that toe. Huge gap opened up there. But it's going to be interesting to see if Cummings, Finity, anybody can run down these top 2. If they stay side by side, it could bring Lamar into this battle. But for now, just 23 laps to go. These laps are going to go by quick. Halterman is going to be clear off of turn 2 for now, but it's still a 2-horse battle. Jake Cummings up into the top 5. This 95 car is coming.
But is he going to get there in time? Here's the thing. You've got a big gap to make up. He's currently now 2 seconds behind Aiken Lamar. If he has a shot to try to get a draft, but look at that, folks. Andrew Burrell, he does not want to give up that easily. He's going to try and put the pressure on him, but I think now he's going to realize maybe work with Jay Cummings as the leaders are both down to the apron. Oh my, they're both duking it out as they went all the way down to the bottom into turn 3, barely making the corner. It's a dogfight up there with only 23 laps to go to the line. Oh man, it's UNC Charlotte versus Tryon University, the student and alumni, the student and the teacher. I know Clint Halterman in these situations, he is well posed. He has the experience. He's won it at New Atlanta in the Cup. He has the experience on the Draft Masters. But on the outside, Wyatt Burton is going to make a lunge. Can he do something? Once again, side by side, down to the turn 1. He's not going to get there, but maybe if he has a good run off of turn 2, he could possibly get to his right rear. He does. Side by side, down the back straightaway. This is the closest Wyatt has been to try to get that lead. He has that fresh air. He's going to dig onto the outside. Maybe get there. Inch his way closer. He has a good run, but gets a little bit squirrely. And once again, is going to have to relegate himself back into second place. But as I mentioned, Clint Halterman has the experience. But this man right there, folks, the 26 of Tri University, he has won the Indy 500 2 weeks ago. He has finally accomplished a win. And last semester, this time around, he was in this position. With 13 laps to go, he gets wrecked out. Well, folks, it's 18 laps to go, and it's a dogfight. Wyatt Burton has a chance to redeem himself, not just to get that second win, but to win it here in Texas.
And he's going to try to come back now with just 18 laps to go. You see Clint Halterman breaking the draft down the straightaways, forcing Burton to take an uncomfortable line into the corners. Not only is that going to hurt Burton's speed, but it's going to hurt his tires. 18 laps is still going to put a little bit of a detriment on the grip that these guys have, which means by the end of it, they're going to be sliding around. Halterman holding a really pretty wheel here. Edward, I hate to say it, but Burton might be in a little bit of a bad spot, but he's going to get to the outside. Prove me wrong, and Burton is clear to the lead.
What a move on the outside. A spectacular move as Wyatt Burton is now in the lead with only 18 laps to go. Crossing the line now, 17. Now, remember what he did earlier. He was a lap car. He was able to hold off Clint Halterman. Can he do it again? It took him 17 laps to get the lead. But we know that inside line, he prefers it. And look at the gap. Oh, look at that. Jason Wallet is back on the track, and he's giving that slipstream. You saw the gap he made on Clint Halterman was that draft he got from Jason Wallet. So lap traffic is going to have some implications here for the lead. But also, Cade, I put up a YouTube Q&A poll. I said, who is going to win? Wyatt, Clint, and just to put in a toss-up, Aiken Lamar. I'm going to start the poll now. Vote. It's going to close in a minute.
Yeah, thank you guys for watching. That chat will be right there on the YouTube stream. But like Edward said, this is going to be an exciting one. If those top two get together, I don't want to see it, but this man, Aiken Lamar from Howard Community College, could be in prime position to pounce and get the win. He's got over 2 seconds on 4th place Jake Cummings. Cale Davidson's past Andrew Burrell.
Kate, here's an update. Lucas Moody is into the pits.
Lucas Moody,
yeah, Brandon Schulenberger, he's going to the pits. I think drivers who had to make the waiver round hoping for a caution, they have now ran out of luck. So I believe this is going to be an important part of this race because we know a caution can happen. Anything can happen, and especially during pit cycles. So now Lucas Moody in the pits. I believe that is the 7 of Schulenberger. So he's going to try and also make it to the end on fuel. But I mean, hey, you're exactly right about this, how this is going to shape out, because right now the gap between Wyatt Burton and Clint, less than half a second. Behind them, Aiken Lamar, they've now grown a big lead, a second and a half. I mean, yikes. These top two are pulling away, but it just makes me a little bit worried. With 12 to go, anything can happen.
And this was the spot where a season ago something did happen. But this time, Wyatt Burton looking for redemption, did want to add Ben Fiore has pitted. That car dropped out of the top 10, which moves Connor Bingle up into 10th. Now Muhammad Alif, your first car 1 lap down, but those guys are out of the picture. At the line, it'll be 11 laps to go, bearing down on the lap car of Jason Wallet. Whether or not he wants to, he is going to play a role in this, giving that slipstream, giving that dirty air. It's going to be a chess match between these two as they now have over 2 seconds on Aiken Lamar.
I'm telling you right now, you know what this is? A cat and mouse game. He is trying to aero block. Oh, Clint Halterman gets a little bit loose. He's going to get a little bit of aero wash here as out of turn 4. He's going to get a nice run, but I know he's going to have to hold that inside. Wyatt Burton knows if he can hold on to the inside and hopefully have enough good tire management. As once again, Clint Halterman throws it deep into the turn 2 as he's going to try and make a run. He's going to go to the
And
bottom.
there's the
He's gonna
block
go
down to the
top.
outside.
What a block once again as he's going to try and make a move onto the outside. But I'm telling you, Cade, the longer this goes, the harder on these tires. Clint making as much as he can, throwing it in is just going to hurt the right side, the right front. Nearly makes contact there. Once again, sends it to the outside. But look at that on the bottom of your screen. He pulls away once again that preferred inside lane. And I mean, this in theory could work for Clint if he had someone behind him to help push. And no! A caution!
No!
Caution is out, folks, with 7 laps to go. What happened?
I believe it was Muhammad Alif.
Alex Fernandini is down on the apron. Oh no. Oh no.
And we will still see a good battle with about 4 laps to go. You see Jake Cummings slides up and hit from behind.
And you know what I'm going to say? Commerce University, that is desperation at its finest. This is what happens when you have to just put it all on the line. He knows he had 4 seconds behind the leaders. He had to just send it in. And watching it from that replay, look at that. I mean, I don't know. He tries to slide up, and I think that was just a bad timing there as Andrew Burrow tries to move on to the inside of Jake Cummings. Jake Cummings avoids Drew Williams on the outside. And look at that. That's when he makes contact and Fernity into I believe that's Andrew Burrow. Yeah, so I think that was just a bad case of Drew Williams takes the outside. Jake Cummings has to avoid him. Burrow has so much speed, he has to check up. But that small bump makes Jake Cummings hit the outside wall, spin out, and that causes the whole breakfast in the pack. But man, you just wish that this could go on a little bit further. But folks, there is no green-white checkered. There is green-white checkered. There is no overtime. There's no green-white checkered extension, I believe. If I'm incorrect, Cade, correct me if I'm wrong.
No, I think you're right. We will not add laps. This race could end under yellow. We will get to restart here with about 3 or 4 laps to go, but we will not add any laps. So we are on lap 144. Whenever we take the green, will take us to the end of the race. I believe in the chat, Jim Poff has said it best. Checkers or wreckers, Mr. Excitement.
Mr. Excitement. Oh, I
That's
forgot
what they're calling you, Edward.
That was his me? No, I think they're talking about that man right there up front, Wyatt Burton, Mr. Excitement. I've seen that name here around, but confirm with me, Jim, if you're talking about me or Wyatt. But I'm pretty sure you're talking about Wyatt because that man, he is Mr. Excitement. And I just want to do a little bit of a recap, Cade, just to really go through the top 10 right now as it stands. So Wyatt Burton. Actually, take it away, Cade. Talk to us. What are the top 10? Because currently there's top 8 on the lead lap.
Yeah, only 8 cars left on the lead lap. It's been a battle of attrition, a battle of survival. Wyatt Burton, we saw at one point he was in a crash, went a lap down, made an aggressive move to get his lap back, and now he is holding up front ahead of Clint Halterman, veteran driver, played a little bit of a different strategy to gain that track position, but he's done a fantastic job to hold on to it. Same is true for Aiken Lamar, alumni driver there, who's had a pretty good season. He's hoping to hold on to a top 5. Then just behind him, the younger driver, not quite a rookie, but Joseph Grijalva of Purdue will restart 4th. And how about the comeback from Cale Davidson? I believe I have seen the fenders ripped off of that car on lap number 1, if memory is correct, and he has come all the way back up to 5th. Just behind him, Drew Williams, who's been in contention all day. Connor Bingle making just his 2nd IndyCar start right there in 7th. Just behind him, Jake Cummings got that damage repaired. He will restart 8th and inside the top 10. So how about that for Jake Cummings? Lucas Moody will restart 9th, but 1 lap down, has not found the luck to get his lap back, has not found the same luck as Wyatt Burton. And how about Riley Berkins? This car, I believe, was airborne earlier, pirouetting along the catch fence, and the comeback for Berkins from New England College. And we are green, Edward. We are racing With just 5 laps to go, Wyatt Burton opens up the gap, but Cummings and Halterman, that's Clint Halterman, going to try to close that down as soon as he can.
Man, I missed out on the boogity, but yes, we are going green. Oh, and a little bit of a side draft. Clint Halterman gets a better run. Unfortunately, it looks like he might be able to make the pass down into turn 1 as Wyatt's trying to hold down to the inside. As they got those tires, the heat cycles, they're a little bit scuffed. As Wyatt Byrne, he's going to go to the top. He's going to try and hold it out. Clint gets a little bit loose, has to get off the gas. He has to collect himself up. Down into turn 3, once again, tries to get that dirty air. No, as he gets a little bit of a side draft there, almost hits the quarter panel of Wyatt Byrne. Start finish line, 4 laps to go, I should say.
No, that's 3.
That's
just 3 laps to go.
Oh my God. Oh, I'm going crazy.
I think the inside lane's going to be the preferred lane here. That's
so,
the one that Burton is blocking. Here comes Lamar.
Oh, that's Lamar. No, that's Joseph Gravala. Joseph on the outside. Where has he come from?
It's a 3-horse race with 2 laps to go. They're side by side.
Clint Halterman, he needs that push. He knows that inside line has to make it work. He gets a little bit of arrow wash. Oh my! Wyatt Byrne makes a really good gap. He's not going to be able to make a move onto turn 3. Clint Halterman has to collect himself. He's going to go back onto the outside. Maybe make a move as Joseph. He's going back onto the inside. He gets close. Joseph back to the outside. He's going to try and have a little bit of a tandem.
White flag in the air.
White flag in the air. Presented by the Eagles Nest 150 at Texas. 1 more lap to go. If you are Wyatt Burton, you have a long ways to go. He's going to have to battle here, defend like hell. Down to turn 3. Can he do it? Clint Halterman, side by side. Could this be a photo finish? No, he gets a little bit loose. As Clint Halterman has to gather it up. He gets to the outside. Wyatt Burton disappears for a second. He's done it.
Wyatt is Burton.
Cheryl Burton. Wyatt Burton has done it. Your little boy has
second win of the season.
Back-to-back
in spectacular fashion.
He's defended himself as the Oval FC winner. And man, oh man, in a time where you think that this man was going to win another race soon enough, he does it in the next oval track there was on the schedule. Mr. Excitement is back in victory lane.
Edward, 39 thousandths of a second between the top 3.
Top 3 was a photo finish.
Incredible finish.
Burn it down,
stuff.
Wyatt. He deserved that. What a run towards the end. I'm sorry, but I mean, man, get Cheryl.
You cheered him on from the very beginning, Edward.
Get Cheryl Byrne on the call to talk to his son, because that was an incredible defensive move. But I got to give credit to Joseph Gravala. What a move he did. He stuck it there on the inside, 2 cars deep from behind. That dirty air did not upset him at all. Sending it in on the inside, cutting the grass. I mean, I need to see that photo finish. Mr. Producer, please bring that up. We need a nice angle of that from the podium. Cade, how much was it? 300th of a second?
39. That's barely.
We gotta go frame by frame. Go back frame by frame. Look at that, folks, right there. If you haven't subscribed already, you need to hit that like button, because that was the most incredible finish I've ever been able to commentate in my CIL FC history. I'm telling you, this has never been as exciting. Look at that finish. Shades of New Atlanta, of Daniel Suarez on the outside, except on the middle was Wyatt Burton. I'm shaking, Cade. This is insane. That was
fantastic stuff. I think it really all started with about 2 laps to go. Halterman got a little bit loose, and the gap was just too big. He got a huge run, huge draft up to the bumper of Burton. But it looks like it just wasn't enough. A fantastic defense from Burton once he got the lead, got a great restart, and was able to hold off some of the best in the business. Grijalva did a great job getting around Aiken Lamar to move his way up into that battle for the lead, but kind of same story. I think he was just a little bit too far back, a little too late.
I think I lost my voice for a second there. And I'm just in shock, man. I felt like commentator curse was a big thing tonight. but I mean,
It was the commentator blessing.
I think
He
tonight
switched it around for
I
us.
s- hey, you know what? I think I really have to be a one-off. I can't be here every night because man, let's I I'm still in shock, Cade. I mean, oh my god, that was insane, man. I'm about to cry, man. I cannot wait for the highlight reels to come out from this one. People are gonna eat this up. This is an iRacing top 10 moment, I think, in my opinion. Anyways, not to be biased, Cade, let's go through the results, right? Or should we talk to our drivers? I need to see if they're in the waiting room. Yes,
They are
They
all available.
let's go to our. Would you want to talk with the winner first, or do we want to do alumni? Well, technically, Clint was the alumni. So
Let's get Wyatt in
we'll
here.
go with
Let's talk to
P3,
Wyatt.
and then
Do we
P2
start
and P1.
out with Wyatt, or do you want to?
Your mic is muted.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Or oh wait, is my audio gone?
All right. Well, we figured that out. I think we should go ahead and get Wyatt Burton in here. Wyatt is the winner of this race. We just cheered him on. And Edward, I think you're good, buddy.
Okay, I'm sorry. My computer just it disabled my computer audio for a second. All right, so do we? Sorry, I did not hear your response. Top three. So we do third, second, first.
All right. You know what? You're in charge. You pick.
All right.
Bring somebody in the booth.
All right, we're gonna bring in. I consider him the rookie in my heart, but I know he's been here for a while. Joseph Gravella from Purdue University. Man, oh man, you finished less than 400th of a second, 39,000th of a second. Talk to me, buddy. How was that race for you?
Man, that's probably the best race I've had with these guys. I come from the oval side, so I knew I was going to be stronger on the oval races. But I didn't know it was going to be that good. For whatever reason, I took to the high line, and it just stuck all the way on the wall, and I would gain a ton of ground. But man, I my heart rate's through the roof. I'm shaking. I was.
Cade, you got a question?
If we can get Joseph back here, but yeah, I did want to ask. You said you kind of figured out that high line. Was that something that you found in practice, or something that you found worked really well during the race itself?
No, in practice, I kind of just ride around and try to figure something out, but I don't know what my tendency is I really only figure out when I'm racing, for whatever. And so I hit the high line to avoid the wash and at some point in the race, and it just hooked, and I saw the massive runoff on the exit, and I'm like, I'm just gonna stay up there and see what happens, and it just worked all night.
Well, Joseph, I mean, I know I've seen your race in the cup, and I've been saying I kind of coined you the rookie because in my eyes, I haven't seen you as much, and I haven't been in the booth in a while, but man, you put on a spectacular show. You were going and putting your arms out against the big runners-ups, Clint, Muhammad Ali, Jay Cummings, Drew Williams. I mean, you sent that car in places that they didn't think there was. I just incredible work, man. Give us your quick shout out before you go.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it. It's good to run up front and show everybody what I can do. I got to do some work on the road side, but hey, thank you guys for putting it on. I'm definitely gonna go watch it back. This replay. Appreciate my dad, the family, wife, sister, my brother-in-law Manny. Big shout out to him. He's always supporting us in when we go karting. So he plays pit crew for us. So thank him very much. And of course, the car sponsor, Border Karting Association. Look them up on Facebook. The club's growing. It's our local karting here in El Paso, Texas. Give them a thumbs up. Give them a like. It's helping the club spread. We're growing really fast, and I appreciate it, everybody. And tandaracing.com, T-A-N-D-A racing.com. They're the Praga kart supplier for the United States. If you guys want to try your hand at go-karting, it's relatively speaking affordable. But I appreciate you guys again. Thank you.
No, thank you for putting on a spectacular finish. Have a great rest of your week, and hopefully we get to see you in the booth here soon enough.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys.
That was our P3 race finisher, Joseph Gravella for Purdue University. We're going to move on to P2 and our alumni driver winner of the race, Clint Haltman. Clint from UNC Charlotte Man, oh man, I've raced with you on draft pack racing. That effort at the end was just cherry on the top, and almost so close by 25 thousandth of a second. Talk to me, man. How did that feel throughout that whole finish, that last restart? Talk to me. What was your mind racing?
You don't gotta remind me how close the gap was, Edward. Man, oh gosh.
Hey, gotta make it for the ratings.
Oh man. I was God, that was some good ass racing, but so close.
Talk to me.
Yeah, talk to you. So
How was
mine's gonna
through
mile
that?
minute.
I know. Let me help you out. I've been in your situation too. That final restart, you were in front. You got the pit stop correct. Your pit crew in and out. That was perfect. You were up front for 12 laps. You got passed. What was your mind from there on? Did you think, shoot, did you lost your chance, or I still got it in the bag?
I thought it was over. Honestly, I literally said I thought the race is over. Lap car rejoined a second in front of me, and these cars you get draft and dirty air about a second behind, and going through 1 and 2 I got just enough where I had to lift more than I wanted to, and why I was able to just sail around my outside, and I was like, yeah, it's over. Because in these, I don't know, it's here, and I know I've done a race at Charlotte in these cars. The inside is so dominant. You just can't quite get that run. But I started to change things up a little bit. I went even higher 1 and 2. I was starting to get a better run through 1 and 2. For a while there, I wasn't even getting close to Wyatt anymore. I had to completely change my line. I adjusted my bar, dropped the bar down 1, because I wasn't worried about tires anymore. I just wanted grip. And yeah, I kind of thought maybe I had a chance. I don't know. It was gonna be really hard. I knew it was gonna be between us, so I think no one else was even gonna be there. Maybe I can't remember if Aiken was getting there or not, but and then that
He did,
final
but he
restart,
faded.
yeah, and then that final caution came out. And I knew pretty much my one and only shot was going to be the first or second lap after the restart. I got a really good run through 3 and 4. I think I even beat Wyatt to the line to start the next lap, and he got tight in 1 and 2, and I just had to lift a little bit because he was coming up, and I didn't, it looked like we might make contact. I had to lift just a little bit. If I could have just stayed in the gas or something a little bit, I think I could have hung it around his outside off of turn 2. I think that was with 3 or 4 laps ago, and passed him there. But that little lift I did, and then even coming to the white flag, I think I had the run, the run I needed coming to the white, and I held it as I lifted as little as I could into turn 1 and 2 in the last lap. I was going for it, but I just could not quite get to his I don't know how much side draft is affected in these cars, but I tried to get to NASCAR style, except this time not wreck someone like I did Monday at Pocono. Sorry, Ben Miller. But yeah, I tried to do something like that, and I just couldn't quite get there. But honestly, after all that, I guess I'm happy to even be P2 because I don't even know what I was doing on strategy, to be honest. There was a caution around lap 23, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna pit here because I can make it a 1 more stop. And I don't know why I thought that, because you can only go 50 laps on gas, and so we had about 130 laps to go. So I might have got my major in math, but I guess I wasn't doing math very well at that moment. And I don't know. I was like, and then after that, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna pit now. I had no idea what I was doing on strategy, and I got extremely lucky with the cautions that came out at the perfect time for me.
Cautions did come out perfect time. Now, unfortunately, due to audience retention, we got to keep it moving.
Oh,
so,
sorry.
no, it's all good. It's all good. That's why I meant that. I got to skip Cade's question for you. So, quick shout out before we let you go.
Yeah, shout out Orange Wheel Racing, all the cars we had in there, and shout out to Wyatt and Joseph there at the end, and especially Wyatt. We were battling really hard for a while. We kept it clean. No one hit each other or stuff, and then shout out to y'all for the broadcast tonight.
Thank you for putting on a great show tonight. Enjoy the rest. Enjoy the second. If you ain't first, you ain't last. But hey,
second sucks.
at least you finished the race in one piece. So good luck in the next one.
All right, thank you.
That was your second place finisher for UNC Charlotte and alumni driver winner Clint Halseman. And the moment we were waiting for, Cade,
Get him in here.
Man, the myth, the legend, and I know I've been holding up some people in the chat. I'm sorry, I had to milk out a little bit of audience retention here. Wyatt Burton, first place winner for tonight. You won it at Indy in the 500 at the Yard of Bricks, and you come back here to defend a back-to-back oval race start, the first, I believe, in CIL history, in the CIL FC oval starts to win a back-to-back race. How do you feel right now, Mr. Excitement, as they say when they were calling you in the chat?
I feel pretty good, honestly. I thought I was out of the race around lap 50 or so. Lucas hit the wall in front of me, and I checked up and kind of ramped over his car, lost my right front tire, and went a lap down. I thought I was out of it for sure, and then I got my lap back passing Clint before that yellow came out. But it was funny, I ended up racing him for the win as well. But I hope that was an exciting race for you guys to watch. It was pretty exciting to drive, and the 3-wide finish, I haven't got to see it, but it looked extremely close from in the car.
You have to watch the broadcast back. I'm telling you, man. If
We were shouting and
We were
screaming. I mean,
shouting.
that
Go
was
ahead, Kate.
absolutely bonkers.
Oh, man.
Kate, your question.
So we talked about this at the end of Indianapolis, how you knew that coming off turn 4, you wanted to be the lead car. Was this kind of that same situation where you knew you wanted to be leading on the last lap?
Here is different than Indy for sure. Indy, I did not want to lead going into one on the last lap. Here, I think if you are on the bottom and you have clean air in front of you, it's pretty much impossible to pass. Clint did an extremely good job, but there's just nothing you can do.
Because you outperformed them. Come on, say it with your chest, man.
I was in the right spot.
Humble.
Well, you
humble. I like that.
drove a really good race, man, and I hope that's not lost on anybody. I mean, not even just that last lap. Coming from the back, outdueling some really great guys, yeah, but also managing the race. So congratulations, and give us your shout outs. Who do you got to call?
Well, I'm currently at home for this race. We're on spring break, so my mom and dad are in the next room, and they were watching the broadcast as well, so they're excited. So I know they're watching; they always enjoy it. So shout out to them.
Hey, what about that team on the side of your car? Don't forget about them.
Shout out to Ricky and Vortex Motorsports.
Vortex mentioned Raw. Sorry, I have to do it for them. Hey, I'm just telling you, Wyatt, man, a spectacular finish. Before we let you go, I gotta say, I hope this comes out on the next newspaper, for your local newspaper, for your local news article. And I mentioned Vortex, and now all of a sudden, FC director Ricky Paz is here. Oh, he's not here. Shh. Oh, well, that's.
I am here, I guess. Now.
He is now here. but
Wyatt,
go ahead.
let me just say, people watching at home, Wyatt Burton has just broken history in the Formula College Series, being the first driver to win more than one oval. As we said at Indianapolis, every single person, every single oval has had a different winner. And tonight, Wyatt Burton doesn't only go 2 in a row on ovals, but breaks the record and becomes the first 2-time winner on the ovals. So Wyatt Burton, congratulations on that. Congratulations to the Wyatt Burton family. And Edward, tell us a little bit about what you were just about to say.
I was gonna say he's also the first to win back-to-back oval starts. Impressive. I mean, like I was gonna say that on the newspaper, I hope to see Wyatt Burton's face front and center, a 3-wide photo finish in the virtual world of Texas Motor Speedway, presented by TMUT Esports. I mean, Wyatt, I just gotta ask you one last question. What is gonna be next for you? Are you gonna win it next week again?
Where are we at next week? Are we in Montreal?
Montreal, Canada.
I ran there in my rookie season, and it was one of my better races. So I'll see what I can do.
Well, I know you gave your shout outs, but Wyatt Burton, you're tonight's race winner, the CIL Formula College Championship Round 7 winner, the defender of the ovals. He's got to feel pretty good. Go celebrate with your parents tonight. And Mr. Excitement has clearly made a mark in CIL history forever.
Now, unfortunately, we do have an announcement to make. Edward, do you want to do this or should I?
I'm the main host tonight. I gotta rip off the band-aid. So it looks like due to a past incident with the car 47 that is of Joseph Gravala, hot off the press, this is a quick thing, a penalty. Car 47 to receive a 30-second penalty and a strike for lap 141 with contact with the, as you see right there, the car 95 of Commerce University. Which means with the 30-second penalty, Joseph gets sent back. He is now in P8 technically. He's a lap down, but I believe he's going to be P8 or P9 unofficially. So unofficially right now, if the appeals process can go through or not, technically, our third place finisher is your very own Jake Cummings. Jake Cummings, we have fresh, hot off the press news. You are unofficially, perhaps in third place after contact with the 47 of Joseph Gravala. So right there, folks, you see it right there. New P3 breaking news. Bob Popkris has just tweeted it out. How do you feel, Jake? That was such a strong. I gotta say, we saw you wrecked out, and for you to get back and collect it together and finish in the top 3, absolutely insane. Talk to me, man.
Yeah. I mean, the incident, of course, was unfortunate at first. Just it wasn't quite clear, and it broke half my wing, and then that led to the yellow. And I was able to get it back to the pits. That was the important part. And and I was able to get fresh tires. I'm not sure it made much of a difference that late in the race. There weren't that many laps on the other ones, but we're able to get past 2 cars that were a bit slower on really old tires, and then we got up to Drew and Kale, and they were both fighting over the high side in 1 and 2, I thought, on that last lap, and I just kind of dove it to the inside, made it stick, and was able to get 4th and then promoted to 3rd. So yeah, it was a really strong race overall. I think I got the fastest lap and led the most laps, and now I'm here on the podium. So it feels really good, especially after last week's issues. We'll just put it in the simplest terms.
Very simple.
Yeah, so we're kind of, if you put the drop week into account, which it should be starting to count now, then that's like we never missed a beat. And if we don't count the last week, which is drop week now, then I've still done like podium in every single race bar or one where I finished 4th. So a really good start to the season still, all things considered. Got to keep it 100% clean the rest of the season, of course, because I've already used up my drop week. But yeah, feeling pretty good.
Time for Cade. Got a quick question?
I don't. I think we're about ready to wrap it up here, but
All right.
Congratulations on a late comeback. Is there anybody you want to shout out? Anybody you want to say hi to?
Actually, yeah, and I was really hoping I'd get the chance to do this today, because just yesterday I had the opportunity to go out to Carolina Motorsports Park with Texport Racing and do a track day event in their Subaru BRZ T3 car, and it was like a dream come true. Just part of our sim racing team through them, and that was like the fruition of our last 9 months of labor. Me and one other guy got to go out and do that, and it was once in a lifetime experience to drive a race car on that road course. It was a lot of fun, learned a lot, and we're hoping to move a lot further from here. So yeah, and also thanks to Converse Esports, of course. As always, they're watching. I'm sure they're happy with the podium after all that. And thanks to you guys for putting on a good broadcast. I'm sure it looked fun. And Edward, I'm glad to see you're back up in the booth tonight. Been a while. Welcome back. But yeah, otherwise, yeah, been a good night. Thank you guys.
And thank you for putting on quite a show up front. That is going to be your unofficial P3, Jay Cummings for Commerce University to 95 and making a strong comeback at the end. Thank you for the warm welcome. Good luck in your next race.
Thanks, buddy.
All right. And let's go through the results and unofficial. Well, we know officially that man right there for Tri University is your race winner. We know that for a fact. And I see some angry emojis in the chat, Cade. That post penalty is unfortunate. I'll take it here. Wyatt Burton win for Tri University in P1. Clint Halterman of UNC Charlotte takes 2nd. Now Joseph Gravala for Purdue University crossed the line 3rd. He crossed the line 3rd in our hearts. However, due to a penalty on the track, lap 141, contact with the 95 of Jay Cummings, He received a 30-second penalty and a driving strike. However, unofficially, now Jay Cummings comes to P3. We'll see if it can be appealed post-race. We shall see if there are grounds to, but that is going to be official. Jay Cummings in P3, Kel Davidson in P5 for P4 for Ball State University, Drew Williams up to P5 for Clemson, Aiken Lamar P6 for Howard Community College, Connor Bingle Aiken Lamar P6 for Howard Community College. I said that again. Connor Bingle P7 for University of Alabama Huntsville. That hot rod of a car. Congrats on that paint scheme. I gotta say, Cade, looking really nice. Lucas Moody P8, Ball State partner in crime, is gonna move up into P8. And well, now there's a thought process here. If Joseph gets end of the line, if he unofficially finishes P8, or he's a lap down and the end of the lap down, which means Lucas Moody gets promoted to P8 and he's P9. Once again, that is due to post-race results. Follow us on our socials. If you're on our Discord, you will be able to see when it officially comes out. So that is our top 10. Okay, take us away for the rest.
Yeah, just behind R. Muhammad Alif. A couple of laps down there. Jason Wallet from Drexel winds up 11th. Riley Birkins, best finish of the season, I believe, for that number 33 car, winds up 12th for New England College. Brandon Schulenberger winds up 13th for Wingate. Marlo Duncan, 14th for Milwaukee. Alex Finity winds up 15th for UNC Charlotte with Nick Stockner. Good run early on, winds up 16th for Clemson. Zohir Mirza, 17th. Grant Schiller, 18th. Adam Willoughby, first race of the season, he finishes 19th for Clemson. And Ricky Paz, your very own FC director, rounds out the top 20.
And P21, Andrew Burrow of Clemson University. P22, Benjamin Fiore from Marist College. P23, Keegan for St. Clair College. And P24, Mr. Nordberg of North Carolina State University. And afterwards, a bunch of these cars that were unfortunately wrecked out early in the race. Ryan Whitlock for University of Alabama Huntsville, P25. Andrew Voigt, P26 in Pennsylvania State University. Glad he's out of the car. Reported that he is okay after hitting the catch fence. Good to hear that. Adrian Tupagog, P27 for St. Clair College. And Ball State Trio, Nick Henley, Dylan Beatty, and Jacob Dick, respectively, in P28, P29, and P30, rounding about our top 30. And lastly, unfortunately, in that first wreck, Esteban Munoz, P31, he for Florida International University, is going to be our last driver of the grid. Caden Hughes, just a note, did not qualify for the race, so he did not race tonight. And, well, Cade, I am absolutely flabbergasted. I think there's a reason why I'm not in the booth. I'm not as young as I used to be. I hit 21, and I don't know how to act, so now I gotta relax, take a breather, maybe retire, pull another Kevin Harvick, and probably come back in the booth, or probably pull another Mike Joy. Who knows? We shall see. But in other news, Cade, first of all, I do want to say to everybody watching, a happy Ash Wednesday. I forgot to mention that earlier, but happy Ash Wednesday. Unfortunately, I couldn't go to church because work and school and this. So I'll probably see if I can go to church. It's still Wednesday. Anyways, that being said, where are we going next week?
We are going to Montreal. We're going to go race on the streets of Canada for our second street circuit of the season. Last time we were on the streets of Long Beach. It was a fantastic race, so we're going to keep that ball rolling. Next week, same time, same place, same channel, Montreal. It's going to be a fantastic race. I think there's one takeaway from Long Beach and now Texas. The wall of ball can be stopped. And what can it be stopped by? Chaos.
I was going to say one man, and that's Mr. Excitement. He is P1. Hear me out. P1, Ali finishes in P10. That 6-point gap that he had against second place. I know Wyatt Byrne was in the top 5. This is immense points day, and it's a big shuffle. Remember, we have the Iowa doubleheader coming up. We've got Michigan coming up. And so, as you said, we're going to Montreal. Hopefully, the Canadians will accept us. I know recently in the political landscape of America, it is a touchy subject. So all I'm going to say is, Canadian fans out there in the audience, please open us with open arms. We all love to sim race. Speaking of next week, the Cup Series. we are going to Las Vegas, Cade, next Monday. Oh, sorry, what was I saying?
No, we're going to
Indiana.
Indianapolis. We're going to the
Indiana.
Brickyard.
We're going to the Brickyard. I'm so sorry. I was ready to gamble. Anyways, Indiana, we're running the Oval. Folks, we're bringing back Indiana Oval for the Cup Series. Our producer is shaming me. Look, I'm sorry. It's been a while. But
Hey, we got to
listen,
shout out our producer. We haven't mentioned
Yeah,
Lee
I
tonight.
was gonna
Lee,
say exactly,
doing a
Lee
great
Kane.
job. Thank you,
Lee-
Lee Kane.
Thank you, Lee Kane,
Mad
guys.
applause.
W Lee Kane in the chat, please. He has been an immense help. And I mean, honestly, I've been watching by the sideline every week. You guys don't know it, but I've been watching every week that I can or watch back these streams, and you guys been killing it. That being said, Indianapolis, race number 8, round number 8 in the Cup Series. Kate and I, we've been kind of racing side by side. I know last Monday in Poconos, we were battling up front in the top 10 before I actually got demolished by someone. Anyways, following by that, I believe our endurance series, if I'm not mistaken, the CSC will be coming up soon enough. The Collegiate Sports Car Challenge, I know it says March 20th, folks, but hey, time flies really fast. It was just yesterday Wyatt Byrne won the Indy 500. Now he won today. So in 15 days time, we will be having the endurance round 3 at Indianapolis Indy Road at 8:45 p.m. And
A correction, that'll be at Sebring, I believe.
My
In
bad.
Sebring.
Sebring. Sebring, folks. I apologize. We're not going to Indy. Too much Indy. We've been doing too much Indy. I'm joking. We love Indianapolis. So we're going to Sebring for our next CSC. I might race in it. We shall see. But, Cade, before we head off, tell me your last thoughts on tonight in one word.
I would have to say what I already said, and that's chaos. Something a little new. You know, we've gotten into a few long runs at road courses. We've gotten into a few long runs at ovals. Here, it was short runs. It was surviving. It was maximizing your strategy. We had a little bit of everything. So I'm going to say chaos, and I cannot wait for more of it. Michigan should be more of the same. Different flavor of chaos, but chaos nonetheless next week in Montreal. So come check us out. Like I said, same place, same time. I should be back up here in the booth. We'll see who else we can get to talk about it. And it's going to be fantastic second half of the season. Absolutely going to live up to this first half that has already set an incredibly high bar.
And in terms of setting the high bar, I gotta say, folks, we can set the bar higher with our subscriber count. Folks, we're 3 subscribers away, 597 subscribers. We just need 3 more. Like I said, grab your brothers, your sister, your blah, 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 blah. Get their phones, get their computers, subscribe. Let's hit 600, please, especially on such an amazing night tonight. And I got 2 words for you tonight. Commentators, blessing. No more commentators curse. I finally done it. Cade, you don't understand. It's been 1.5 years since I've been cursing these folks. I finally did something. I cheered on for someone and it worked. My pick, my first time a pick actually wins. So exciting. Anyway, folks, I am Edward Sanchez. Cade on my left for UAH, University of Alabama Huntsville. His at is, I cannot read. It's a little bit too tiny. At JenBob19. Did I say that right?
Yes.
Exactly. Where can we find you, my good gentleman?
You can't really find me anywhere. I'm a little bit off the grid right now, but you know, eventually maybe I'll get out there and I'll start doing a little more commentating. But yeah, thanks for coming up here and hanging out with the booth with me. My pleasure. I know you're the host, but this has kind of been my area the past few weeks, and it has been an absolute joy to share it with you. So you are welcome anytime, Mr. Edward Sanchez.
Thank you so much, Cade. And honestly, it's been a pleasure. So, folks, without further ado, thank you so much for tuning in for the CIO Formula College Championship Round 7 here at Texas. Hold on, I gotta say the sponsor one more time. They're telling me if I don't, I will be... Ooh, I can't say that on stream. So let me get that real quick. That is tonight, the Eagles Nest 150 at Texas, presented by TAMUT Tex Esports. Thank you so much, TAMUT Eagles, for sponsoring tonight's race. This is the 3rd of 5, so they'll be coming along for another 2 races. Much love from the booth. Much love from me. Cade, thank you so much for letting me in to step in the booth for old time's sake. We'll see if I can probably hop on. I miss it a lot, but life is busy. So hopefully I get to have some free time and come back. Our producer, Lee Kane. Shout out to Lee Kane. And without further ado, have a good night, folks.